Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I think, Scott, you're in the audience, but what I would like to do is have people join me inside the chat itself. That's an unfortunate feature, or it's unfortunate in the way I set it up because I actually would rather people join me in the chat rather than be passive audience members. So what I'm going to do is add you, and I want you to join the chat. Stop the stream that you're watching right now. So what I'm going to do is add you. Please stop. Please stop. Okay, great. So Adil and Scott, I'm going to invite you to the video chat. And I'm also going to add you to a Slack channel. Someone else breathing? Someone there? Oh, hey, Deepak. How's it going?
Hey.
Yeah, if you send me your email address, then I can add you to our Slack channel and also, yeah, no, it's pretty much just the Slack channel. You're a member of the video chat already.
Yeah. So you can see it in the chat, right?
Say again?
Email address. You can see that in the chat, right?
I heard a noise. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, sorry, Igor. Maybe it's because I'm running too many chat apps at the same time. Yeah, I can't see anything from you, Deepak.
Nothing. I just got up. So this is still just early morning in India.
Oh, that's okay. It is late evening. It is 7:18 p.m. Mountain Time in Arizona, which is where I am right now.
Okay. So I don't see anyone else on the hangar. Is it cause of the settings or cause just it's okay? We have got someone else here. So it's like Scott. Okay.
Hey, Scott. Your microphone's muted, Scott. We'd like to hear you as well.
Scott, can you hear us?
Yeah, we'll start in a few minutes. Then I'll start screen sharing. But I can start telling you about myself. So my name is Paul Pham, and this is the first workshop of a new school I'm starting called the Invisible College. And I've taught at another code school, and I was a college professor for a while at the Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington. And something that always bothered me about teaching, well, first of all, it doesn't actually prepare you to get a job or do any interesting projects, and then also it was very lecture-based. And what I believe instead is to learn by doing. And what we're going to do in this class is to do mob programming. So Deepak, have you heard of pair programming?
Yeah.
Yeah, so pair programming, you have a driver and a navigator, and they both sit at the same computer. and both people are engaged. The driver only types, and the navigator tells the driver what to type. But there's no distraction and there's no blocking, so you don't lose track of what your partner's doing because you're talking all the time, and you're not surfing Facebook and things like that. So if you extend that from 2 people to N people, then you have mob programming. And it turns out in this case, the mob is still just 2 people and me, and we can't hear one of them. But it's more powerful in that you have a lot of minds that work at the same problem. And then you also take turns typing. So would you like to be the driver first?
Okay.
It depends on whether you have Android Studio installed. Did you manage to get the download and install it in time?
Yeah, I have the Android Studio installed. I'm not sure if it's the latest version. Just let me check.
Yeah, it probably is. So are you able to share?
Mostly because I'm a hobby developer. I haven't worked much on Android. For last few months, I've been working on iOS, and
Okay.
now I'm actually back on Rails.
Yeah, I know very little about iOS, but there are ways of compiling to both platforms. So in a later workshop, we can talk a little bit about Meteor, which compiles down to both iOS and Android. But for now, we'll just talk only about Android.
Okay,
Oh,
just like that, you have brought up Meteor right now. So, how do you think the native apps compare with these hybrid apps?
yeah. So the hybrid apps, as you call them, are cross-compiled using a cross-platform library called Cordova, or sometimes Ionic. And they can do most things that web apps can do. Like they generate divs and buttons, and you can click on them, and they can be backed by a database, and the database is synchronized locally to your phone when it's offline, and then also gets resynchronized to the web when it's online. So it does most of what you want for simple apps, for like web apps. But if you want to play games or do anything that require very custom interactions, like very graphics intensive, very music intensive, then cross-compiling will not work. So, you know, a really complicated Meteor app will not be able to give you the same interactivity as a native game would. And this is mostly for apps that require custom user interactions, and that's mostly games right now. That's my opinion. Does that answer?
Okay. Yeah. Scott, you have got something to say on this?
We still can't hear you, Scott. But we can move on to Deepak. Can you share your screen?
Yeah, so how do we share screen here? Um,
So there is, let me show you by sharing my screen. So on the left-hand side of the Hangout window, there is, you hover over it, and there's a toolbar. You're going to see a lot of infinite
yeah.
regress, like your illusion, but ignore it right now. And then there's a green button, and that's screen sharing. And you click on it, and then you can say present to everyone, and then we can see your screen.
Can you see it now?
Yes, that's perfect. Okay. So to start out with, let me show you. I'm going to paste a link into the GitHub source code that we're going to use, and it's in a repo here. So Invisible College is the name of the school I'm starting, and then Robot Heart is the name of the project, the name of this Android course, because an Android is a robot, and we're going to be studying its heart, what makes it tick, what makes it beat. And the link to that repo is here. And then you can click on it to get the source code, but for now, we can also just start from scratch. So go ahead and click Start a new Android Studio project. And Scott, feel free to follow along. Unfortunately, we can't still hear you, but if you have the latest Android installed, you can do the same thing.
Okay.
And any of our other viewers, I think Adil might be watching, and then I have some friends joining from live coding. Pete Garcia and Mon Fizzle. And Rick Castro 1, Andrew 6. Welcome, everyone.
So we'll be putting up with API 16 and plus. That's right.
Say that again. You can just click Start New Android Studio project.
Yeah, I've gone that far. So I'm just checking the APIs that we need to support. So I think we should be go supporting Android 4.1 plus.
Yeah, so in general, we want Android 5.1, which is API 22.
So if 5.1 is 22. Okay, then we'll go with 22.
Yeah. And I'm biased. I happen to have a phone which is Android 5.1. It's a Moto first generation. And yeah, so that's the latest version of Android that I have that I can develop projects for.
Okay, I do have a Moto 2nd gen, so that's all right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, in general.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, your screen appears to be frozen. It's still showing the Welcome to Android Studio window.
Okay, so then, just a second. We need to start with a blank activity, or you want no activity to be added? So
Yeah,
I'm on the activity.
Let's start with a blank activity. That's the simplest. So do you mind stopping your screen share and then?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
And then resharing it? Yeah, because I can't see all the new windows. It could be that you should share your entire desktop and not just the Android Studio window.
Yes, I'm just switching to that. I'm just looking at, okay.
Okay.
Has the screen share stopped?
The screen share has stopped, yeah.
Okay. I'll share my desktop.
And for those of you on live coding just joining us, this is a live workshop. We're using mob programming. In this case, Deepak is helping me by, I'm going to walk him through writing up his first Android app, something very simple, hello world, and then we're going to sign it and upload it to the Google Play Store. And believe it or not, that'll take us most of this 2 hours. But please follow along at home if you have Android Studio. Right now we're creating a new Android project with a blank activity. And you're not looking at Android Studio right now.
No, I am. So, can you see the updated screens?
No, it looks like you're still on Google Chrome.
No, I'm on Android Studio. It's like initiating the project.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's too bad. Maybe there's a bug with your Google Chrome, but so instead I'll just auditorily walk you through it.
I think probably you can take over though. That should be better. So in that case, everyone will be able to see the screens and follow on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that should be.
Okay, so you can keep following along. I'm going to start a new project here in Android Studio. Can you see my Android Studio?
Yes. I think I'm looking at your.
Can you see it, Deepak?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to call the application, call it my application. The domain is going to be college.invisible. That's also our website, so you can go to us at http://invisible.college. And I'm just going to put this application here. So you can choose anywhere on your hard drive. And I'm going to choose, so API 15 is actually good enough. And it tells you in real time that it will cover 94% of the devices on the Google Play Store. There's not really a good reason to choose higher versions, but you can change which specific compiler that you use later on after we've created the project. That was just the minimum SDK supported. So here is a blank activity. And activity is the basic unit of interaction in an Android app. So anything you see that takes up the whole screen is an activity. And you can think of an Android app as just switching in between a bunch of activities. And there's always the activity load first, and activities can go to sleep. They can load other activities, and they can just exit completely when your app exits. So the activity name we'll call main activity. It's pretty unoriginal. And then associated with each activity is a layout. And the activity is the abstract collection of all the data and interaction that governs the rules of how that activity behaves, but the way it looks to you on the screen is called the layout, and it tells you what all the widgets and the views. That's what every button and square and circle is called on the layout. It's called a view. That's the Android word for it. So I'm going to, as much as possible, use the special Android words for all these different concepts, just so that you become familiar with them. And then also when you look up the documentation later, the Google documentation is quite good, but you just have to know what all the words mean. And yeah, so there's also a resource. A resource is another widget on this page. It's the green button at the top, which has the back arrow and the dot, dot, dot that gets inflated. And we'll just call that menu main. And we won't worry about fragments for now. Fragment is just like a mini activity that only takes up, that can take up only part of the screen. So now I'm going to click finish. And it'll take a while. So Gradle is the build system that is used in Android Studio. So what an Android app is just a bunch of Java files and libraries. And to compile them, to combine them together, you do what's compiling. You're converting the source code, which is the English readable text, into binary bytecode, which is what the Java virtual machine runs. And before, it was really time consuming. You had to compile all the different files separately, and you'd have to know how the files interacted with each other. So then people invented build systems. And so for a while, most of the world used something called Ant. But Ant is pretty low level. And then on top of Ant is something called Gradle, which is written in another JVM language called Groovy. And that is what Google engineers have decided on as sort of the official canonical way to build Android apps with Android Studio. So I said a bunch of words.
Okay.
Hopefully it meant something. You don't have to understand Gradle, but if you see the word Gradle, just know that's what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, live coding people. OBS crapped out. I'm reloading it right now. Adil says, "Hey Paul, can you please minimize your Google Hangout window in the background?" Will do. I agree. That's it's distracting. Okay. So far so good. You can, Adil and Deepak, you can see my screen, Android Studio. We're open to the main activity and the main content layout.
Yes.
Okay. Let me exit. I have way too many apps open, as you can tell. Let me exit some of them. All right, so let's see what we're looking at here. This is the directory structure of a basic Android app. Over here, we have a single module. Most complicated apps may have several modules, but in our case, we just start with a simple single module called app. And inside of it, it has manifests. And a manifest is just like when you're shipping something. A manifest is like the packing slip. It tells you what's in the box that you're getting. So the manifest tells the Android Play Store and anyone else who receives your app what it's called. In this case, it's called My Application. So you can see the label for the app here. You can choose a theme for it. The default theme is just app theme. You can decide whether you want an action bar. That's just an additional bar at the top. You can give additional permissions. So for example, if your app needs to access the network or external storage or determine your location, like Google Maps, you have to specify it here, because remember, whenever you install an app, it asks you, is it okay if this app has these permissions, like accesses your phone camera, things like that. And then usually you have no choice. You want to use the app, and so you say yes. But manifest is where the app developer specifies those. Under Java are two packages. So packages are ways of grouping modules together or classes together in Java. We won't worry about application tests for now. That's for unit testing. But main activity is Java code. So finally we get to see code in Java. And this is the main way that apps are written, how you specify how different widgets interact with each other. And here, the main activity class extends app compat activity. And that's the basic activity that all other activities inherit from. And they have three methods, which are callbacks. So the life cycle of an activity is that when it first gets created, like when it first wakes up, for example, you load the app, it calls everything in onCreate. So everything you want to be created in your app, you should put in the onCreate method. If we go line by line, this saved instant state. So when your app goes to sleep, there is state for your app that's saved, so that whenever you wake up again, like when you unlock your phone, it pretends as if it picks up right where you left off, but in reality, it actually went to sleep. But this is a way of faking it.
Okay.
Yeah, do you have a question?
Yeah. So what's the difference between extending from app compat activity and extending activity?
Yeah, as far as, I don't know if there's a base class called just activity.
There is one. We actually earlier to Lollipop, when we used to develop, we used to extend from activity alone.
Oh, yeah. Yes, there probably is still activity, which we could add here if we wanted. But it's been deprecated. So the preferred way of creating activities now is to extend app compat activity, which adds extra support for older Android platforms. So this is best practice. It changes over time. You'll notice every time you download a new version of Android Studio and you use the wizards to create a new project, things appear slightly different. App compat activity is one of them. If you created a Google Maps app, then it would extend a map activity instead. So there are various different classes that have different purposes, but for just a general purpose app compat activity is the best practice right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are a few other things that come up, like when we talk about layouts soon, by default, Android Studio creates this new coordinator layout. And in older versions of Android, they would use what would they use? Not a relative layout, but some other layout. So the progress in developing over like what kinds of layouts to use or what kind of activities to extend, those best practices change a lot over time, and you just have to like read forums or talk to other Android developers. I talked to my friend Randy, Randy, who's another instructor in this course, and I learned a lot from him. So let's continue. This set content view associates activity main with this activity, and you can access resources in Android. The big R stands for resource, and then you call dot to access the different members of the resource, and the different members could be an ID. IDs belong to views, for example, like you can get this floating action button by its ID, r.id.fab. You can also access layouts, which you get by r.layout, and then whatever the ID of the layout is. Toolbar is another widget that appears on the screen. Later, we're going to access strings. So you can access strings with r.string as well. These other lines create a toolbar. So you'll see that there's a toolbar at the top of our app. There's a floating action button. Actually, the best thing to do right now is just to click play to let you see what the finished app looks like. So I'm going to click the play button, and I'm going to use the built-in emulator. which is going to be pretty slow, but it also has the benefit of being displayed on screen so you can see it. Otherwise, I'd have to load it on my actual phone and then hold it up to the screen. And sometimes that works, but sometimes the contrast is not great. So while it's loading, you'll notice that Gradle is building down here. You'll see this little spinning circle. Here, this is the device chooser, or the Android Virtual Device Manager. And that lets you choose where to load this app. You can load it onto an emulator, which is software only. If I had a smartphone connected, it would show up here, and you could select it instead. But we're going to launch an emulator, and I'm going to choose API 23 just because it's the latest. Sometimes if you get an error like launcher keeps crashing, that usually means that the emulator is running an older version of Android, an older API that is not compatible with the API that you compiled with. So you can check which version of Android you compiled with in these Gradle scripts. So this Gradle script says that this project is being compiled with API 23. And if you compile and run this on an emulator and you keep getting launcher crashes or whatever, you probably used an image from an older version like 22. So here, it's slow. We're still waiting for it to load. Live coding viewers, I'm a lot more verbose in chatting because this is the Google Hangout workshop. Normally when I'm coding, when I'm like writing code, I'm very quiet. So this is good practice for me to really explain what I'm thinking and what I'm doing.
That's actually a good idea, so that everyone here gets to know what you are thinking and the process behind the actions that you are being taken on the screen. So that pretty much self-explanatory and will probably help everyone understand things better.
Hopefully so, yeah. Okay, so sometimes you have to compile twice.
Hey, it's just like Visual Studio.
Hey, Scott.
We're not going to talk about the setup I have going on here.
Oh, yeah. Is it a really arcane setup?
Well, if you noticed, I'm in the chat twice.
Oh, like one for the microphone.
Right.
Okay. So, Scott, I was trying to demonstrate mob programming, so I don't want to be the one to always lecture and type. Would you like to be the driver if you can share your screen and load Android Studio?
Sure.
Okay.
Everybody can see my horrid typing.
It's not that bad. It's like when you are, okay, so just to let you know what you're looking forward to, everyone, before I switch over to Scott's screen, this is the Hello World application. It's a blank activity. This is the floating action button. This is something new. You'll notice it has like a slight shadow, and it pops up this thing called the snack bar. All of Android has super cute names based on food. Like all the API names are named after desserts, and all these like bars that pop up are called toasts and snack bars, and it's just very adorable. So get used to it.
This is actually sweet, I think.
What's that?
It's the naming scheme. I actually like the naming conventions that they are naming the Android versions over desserts and the internal components as some sweets, just like toast and snack bar that we are referring to. So I actually find that sweet.
Oh, I actually like it too. I'm just, yeah, I think it's funny. It's whimsical. So Scott, if you can share your.
I'm working on it. I was waiting until I got Android Studio started.
Oh,
I had to reboot. That was my problem.
No worries. I can continue for a while until you get it started. So
yeah, just another minute.
That's all right. And we can really do some pair programming at least. So what we want to do, so we get Hello World showing up here. And at the very least, we want to, when you click on it, we want it to change to something like, let's say, goodbye for now. Goodbye, cruel world.
You have to have cold, cruel world in that.
Cold, cruel world. Yeah, we don't want to make it too depressing. But
it's reality.
So here, let's look at the layouts. So we spent a lot of time looking at the activity, but the layouts are specified in XML. And I have mixed feelings about XML, but it's the way the Java community has chosen, and it's good enough. It lets you specify the structure of things without necessarily worrying about the code that runs them. So just think of it as basically like the skeleton, and then the code layer can come in and change different things about this layout. So the main layout has, the outer layout is a coordinator layout. It has the toolbar at the top, which we saw. Right, the toolbar is up here. It includes another layout. So this is a way of keeping your layouts modular. You can break them up into smaller pieces and include one in the other. So content main, we'll look at that next, but that's what this include statement means. And then we have the floating action button, which is this guy down here. So let's look at content. This is a relative layout. So a relative layout means that you can specify the children in the layout relative to each other, and sometimes that's useful for keeping a flat structure so you don't have these really deep hierarchies. You don't have to worry about it for now since we're not programming any really complicated layouts. But that basically means this big white area here. Ooh, so if I move my pointer really fast, it'll increase the size. So inside the layout is a view, and remember, view is the Android word for any graphical widget. And this one has a bunch of properties. So just like HTML, XML has tag names and then tag properties. And each, or attributes, that's the official name for them, and each attribute, maybe it's pronounced attribute. Each attribute is taken from an Android namespace. So that's why they're preceded with Android : text, Android : layout width, layout height. These basically expand them to fill the parent layout. What I want to do here is to change text view to not be hard-coded into the layout, because what if we want to translate this to other languages? We want our design to be flexible. We want to abstract away what's called the content from the logic of the application, or the display from the logic. So I'm going to save it like this, and I'm going to add a string inside the resources. Under values, there are strings which you can then have different translations for. And some of the strings are the application name or settings. That's what gets displayed in the action bar up here. Just as a test, we can change it to be not settings. And then I want to have hello string called hello world. And Android Studio is smart in that it will autocomplete these tags. Like it had an automatically completed /string here. If you're interested, you could open the editor and create new translations. That'd actually be a great exercise for later, because Deepak, I'm sure you know another language like Hindi or Gujarati, and you could write hello world in those languages too. But we're going to concentrate on English right now. Okay, so now here we want to get the text view and then set the text. So we're going to create a variable type text view. And it's red because we haven't imported it. That usually happens in Java. You have to import everything that you want to use from the outside, from the third party. So if you hover over a red thing, this little button will pop up, and it shows you the keystroke, which is Alt-Enter. And if you type that, you'll see that text view is automatically imported. That's a really cool feature in IDEs. And so I used to only use text editors, but the reason why I switched to integrated development environments was, auto-importing like this, and linking to the API so you can see documentation right away, and then also the debugger is really helpful. So we are going to find a view by ID, and we're going to call r.id.flowView. But the thing I forgot is that I have to give it an ID here. So okay, and then this layout, this terminology is going to be pretty abstract. @ sign is going to be in front of any symbol, which is a layout, so that it's not just a string. Plus means to add it to the built-in IDs. So this is a ID just for this project. Later on, I'll talk more about it, but there are two sets of resources in your Android project. One is built into Android itself. That's what Google writes. And then one is what you write. And it's a type ID, and then I'm going to call it hello view. But whatever I call it here, hello view, has to match up with what I call it here. And so now you'll see hello view is no longer red because it detected it. And we found it in r.id.helloview because it is local to this project. It's not a built-in Android feature. So now we're going to set the text, db.setText, and we're going to get a string. I know this seems really drawn out, right? Before it already worked with hello world. Now I'm doing a lot of extra work to make it say the same thing, but it's more maintainable as a design in the long run. So the way you get resources is you say get resources, and it's a function call, so open close paren, string, and then the ID will just be r.string.hellostring. And then you set the text as hello string. Okay, Adil says you cannot see my screen. Oh, and OBS never started. Sorry, live coding people, I forgot that OBS never started again. I'll start streaming again. You can't hear me because the streaming hasn't started yet. Oh, wait. Okay. All right. Adil, can you see? The reason why I prefer Slack to Google Chat is that Slack will still stay around longer. Like after this Hangout is over, all the messages in Slack will be. Okay. Yeah, so Adil, you can see Scott. Can you see my Android Studio right now? Yeah? Yes, no? I'll assume it's yes for now. I'll just hallucinate. You have to switch to your screen in the Hangout video. Oh, okay. Does that work? How about now? Yeah. While we're waiting to hear back from Adil, I'll compile again. Nice, success. Also, feel free to join us. You don't have to be a passive streamer. You can join the Hangout chat, and then we can hear you too. Just an option, but you can lurk if you want to. That's fine. Okay, so we have 5 minutes left before we start the video chat for people in Pacific time. And so then I'm going to go over, or we're going to watch Adrian go over some of the same things. But hopefully the review will be good for you. So Adil and Deepak and Scott, are you able to follow along in Android Studio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Android Studio up and going now.
Cool.
Did you want us to actually get that, to fork that robot heart from GitHub as well?
So if you want to follow along in the later sessions, then yeah, we'll build upon the code in that example. But
Okay.
for today, we're just making these very small modifications to the blank activity,
Okay.
and you don't need to do that.
Works for me.
Yeah. What did Adil say?
Me and Slack never get along.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, Adil, I'm going to invite you to this other channel called Learn Android. And Slack has different channels. The general channel is just for announcements or general chatter. Learn Android is what we're going to be using for this workshop and for future classes. Okay, so load it up in the emulator, right? Same as before. So there are no bugs. You can't tell anything worked, but trust me, the design is a lot more maintainable now. Oh, one thing we can check is whether the settings string changed, right? We changed settings to not settings, and it worked. So if you click the I don't know what it's called, the 3 dots, that means that there's more menu to be expanded and inflated. If you click that, you'll see not settings. Okay, and while we're waiting for other people to join us, let's, well, so Scott and Deepak, are you far enough along now, or even just have Android Studio loaded where we could switch over and help you type?
Just a second, I'm launching the emulator. I'm not sure if the emulator will be running on a machine, and it's not.
You've had a problem with sharing your screen, so maybe Scott, how's the screen sharing?
Yeah, I think let's have Scott continue, and then I'll take over sometime in the middle when I have my setup done. I actually have a problem running emulators, and like I mostly prefer testing on the device. That's what works good with me.
Oh yeah, no, I totally.
Never mind. Let's Scott continue.
Okay. How's your screen sharing coming, Scott?
As soon as I figure out what's using all my CPU, I'll be fine.
Yeah, is a problem.
That can be an issue. Nothing behaves quickly whenever your CPU is pegged. I'll just log my wife off. She won't like that.
What's that?
Oh, it's a shared computer, so I'm just going to boot my wife off. I'm sure it's Chrome running on hers because it, of course, expands to fill all available resources.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Please say hi to Mina for me.
Hi, Nina. Put the kids to bed. They're screaming right now, so I'm just ignoring that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll continue for now. What we want to do is when you click on the text view, hello world, we want to change it to another string. So I'm going to add a string. Let's call it goodbye string. Gooby, goodbye. We'll call it goodbye, whole world. And it has the ID goodbye string. And now we're going to create an onClick method. And this is another callback. So it's not something that gets called by us, but it's something that gets called by the underlying Android framework, which is part of the activity cycle. So whenever, because we don't know when it's going to happen, right? The thing with most apps is that you have to specify what to do in response to things, but you usually don't initiate the action yourself because you're waiting for the user to do something. So the way onClick works is it takes a view, and then in this case, we can assume that the view is a text view. We can't always assume it, but in this case, we can. We're going to cast it to a text view. And, oh, so if it's hello, I want to say change to goodbye. If it's goodbye, I want to change it to hello. And some way of doing that, I'll just be a private Boolean. Is hello, start as true. And if we're looking at is hello, then it will change the text to be goodbye string, doobie. Goodbye string. Again, get resources dot string r dot string dot goodbye. And then this hello equals false. Otherwise, we'll copy and paste up here. Hello text it to be hello text, and then is hello equals true. So that should flip-flop back and forth. And I'm mostly sure that's correct. So let's run it. That sounds like someone's phone. Deal says this is probably what other people are seeing. Oh, that is not what I want people to see. Thanks for pointing that out, Adil. Let me ask. So Adrian is in Seattle right now at Metrics Create Space with 2 more people for the session. And we'll wait for a few more and then we can get started. And then Adil, I will try and figure out why this is. I'm going to stop sharing and then reshare. And Deepak and Scott, if that ever happens to you again, let me know. Definitely don't want you to stare at a static image of my face, which is my Halloween costume from many years ago. Does that look better, Deepak?
Yeah. So what I was talking about is like I keep can you see my message in the chat window? That's Hangout chat. So I've seen like constantly Android Studio complaints about installing the hacks. So I've already installed hacks quite a few times, but every time I try to run an emulator, I see this message. Then I have to go back and install hacks, remove the previous installation, and do it again. Then it will work for one time, and whenever I shut down a machine and start it again, so it will again complain for hacks not being installed on my machine.
Yeah, that sounds annoying. Are you using Linux or Mac? Deepak, are you using Windows or Linux or Mac?
It's Mac.
Yeah, sometimes there are problems. Is it an older Mac? Yeah, sometimes the emulator, so the emulator uses hardware acceleration, and sometimes there are problems with older Macs. I assume that in the SDK manager, that's where you're installing the Intel Haxum emulator. Let me load it here and show you the package that I install. Yeah, it's this guy here at the bottom, Intel x86 emulator accelerator, Haxum installer. And so mine says install. I assume yours says install also.
I think connection dropped out for some reason. So.
Oh, can you see my screen where it says Intel x86 emulator accelerator?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that where you installed it on your computer? Mine says installed, and if you want to install it, you check the box next to it. That's the preferred way of installing it.
Okay, so I usually did it from the command line. I think I was using Brew installing it. So maybe that's the cause.
Oh yeah, I don't know if Homebrew may be installing it somewhere else that your Android Studio doesn't know where to find. Yeah, I
Yeah,
made the mistake
yeah.
where I had two different SDKs installed on my computer, and that was really annoying. And yeah, like if at all possible, if that happens to you, just like choose one and delete it, and only use the other because that will cause you a lot of headaches. You'll update one, and then it won't have effect. It won't show up in the other one, and you'll like pull your hair out. It'll be super annoying. So don't do that.
Okay.
Just use the SDK manager from within Android. So you go Tools, Android, you get to this window, Launch Standalone SDK Manager, and then in here scroll all the way to the bottom under Extras and choose Intel x86 Emulator Accelerator.
Yeah. So I'm still at the gives me preference manager and I want to start SDK manager. Something's pretty fogged up.
Say again, you're in the Preference Manager?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm at the default preferences menu.
Yeah, so choose Launch SDK Manager here.
I can't see your screen. Is that being shared?
Yeah, what is up with the screen share? Why is it not consistently sharing? Let me stop and reshare.
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
No.
What do you see instead?
I'm looking at a profile picture. Yours and Scott's profile pictures are switching on my screen.
Okay, well, that's not good. How about now?
Yeah, I can see the presenter, but I'm like, I don't see the screen here. Something wrong with me, I think.
Okay,
Well, I
can you
saw
see
it there for
my
a second, and then it went back away.
face? Yeah, so now you can see my face again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's try this one more time. Did anything change?
Yeah, we are looking at your Hangout screen.
And now you can see Android Studio.
Hasn't come up yet.
Okay, maybe
Scott,
I'll
are
choose.
you Scott? Are you looking at the screen, or it's just me?
No, no, I was seeing the same thing you were.
Okay.
Just the Hangout screen, and then it didn't switch to Android Studio.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, now I can see your Android Studio.
Yep.
Can you see Launch Standalone SDK Manager at the bottom? Or yeah, the problem is that this is a sub window inside of Android Studio. So anyway,
Yeah, I
I'll
think
just
the only way you get that to share is if you share your entire screen. I don't think
Yeah.
you can do it through the app sharing option.
Yeah, let's do that. But
And then so what's happening is when you click focus onto the Android Studio Manager, Paul, we're losing your studio screen is what's going on there.
Okay,
yeah,
let's leave it out for now. So probably I'll figure it out. So that now I know the cause of it. I'll see to it that I get it fixed.
I mean, I can just
Let's-
describe to you that it's a link at the bottom that says Launch Standalone SDK Manager. If you're in default preferences, look at the bottom of the window, and there's a blue link, or yeah, it should be a link that says Launch Standalone SDK Manager.
Okay, let's move ahead with the application. So that will be good.
Okay, I'm going to stop and try resharing my entire screen. So can you see my Android Studio?
Yes.
Okay. And where are you guys in terms of your own Android projects?
Well, I installed Android Studio on this computer, but I hadn't run a project yet, so it's currently building all of the reference libraries and indexing them. So
That sounds incredibly slow.
it apparently it is. It's about 10 minutes into the process.
Okay.
And in that process, why it's like that, I can't actually build the sample app and run it. So I'm just waiting for that to finish.
All right. How about you, Deepak? Where are you at?
I'm just updating the hacks.
Okay.
I think that should do it. So hacks is now installed to the latest revision.
Well, while we're waiting on that, let me check my agenda because there was a list of things I wanted to cover. So, introductions. Who am I? Why are we here? Download or install Android Studio. Thankfully, you guys already did that. Create empty project. Add a new text view. Oh, add a new image. I guess we work on that next. I kind of want to create the new key store and upload it to the App Store first. But we have been able to compile and run the app on an emulator and device. Does anyone else have an idea of what they wanted, some feature they want to add to our app? Should I continue, or should we wait for you to finish your respective processes? Hello?
Oh, either way is fine with me.
Okay.
I think probably you should continue till we figure out our stuff. So we do not want to keep others waiting for.
Well, no one is waiting. You guys are the main audience. So
We are the torture subjects.
yes, you're my torture subjects. I'm experimenting on you.
That's really what education's about anyways, right?
Yeah, they won't tell you, but most teachers are trying out their material on you, and some of them are doing studies and writing papers about it. So.
And then they try writing books from that material.
Yeah, for sure. Then they sell the textbooks, and someone makes a lot of money.
Usually because it's not the person that wrote it.
Sometimes not the person who wrote it.
So I'm still getting the same error. So the installing hacks with Android Studio hasn't solved my problem.
Let's see. Did you?
So I think let me share my screen. That
Okay.
should probably help you figure out.
Yeah. Especially if you go to the ABD manager, which is Android Virtual.
Can you see my screen?
Let me look. It is. Oh yeah. So I see. Let's see. CPU acceleration says Hex is not installed on this machine. Yeah. Can you?
Yeah. So let's move to SDK manager.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Android SDK. So let's launch the SDK manager.
Oh, your screen share works perfectly, Deepak. You're our new guinea pig. You're the driver. It's over. I'm gonna make you do stuff.
So let's see at the end what we have. So it says Hex emulator is already installed and latest to revision 5.5.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, it couldn't hurt to install, let's see, these other 13 packages. So they might make a difference in whether the emulator works. Yeah, support repository and support library are definitely necessary. Those are useful. And
So we have SDK platform 23 to be installed and related system images. Do you really need to install these system images?
so you don't need to install the Google API system images right now. For more complicated apps that use like Google Maps, you can later, but for now, just uncheck them. And
Yeah, but they really bug me and they're quite heavy.
so we do need at least one Intel x86 Atom image. So I prefer choosing
Okay.
the 64-bit image, especially if you have a 64-bit processor. You can
Okay,
uncheck
so
the Google APIs one, but the Intel one above it. There's a
this one?
yeah. That one is just plain Android without Google APIs. Yeah,
Okay.
and that's for API.
So then we have something for API 5.1, so I'll again keep one of these.
You can get rid of all of them for API 21. Yeah, we're compiling for, I think I told you to choose 23, so we should just,
Okay, let's do it with 23 alone. So I'll remove that from, okay, 23 is good. So
yeah.
22 and 21 again, we'll remove this stuff.
Yeah.
And this is what, API 17? No way.
Oh yeah, we don't need that.
Then we have 15, then extra support labs
Yeah,
and support, let's keep them.
yeah, that was good. So click install 4 packages.
Just, yeah, we are good.
And yeah, click accept license. Install.
Now this is gonna take some time.
Oh yeah, so let's not worry about the emulator for now, but if you go back to Android Studio, if you can, let's see if we can get some typing done. Or at the very
Think
least,
I can use. I cannot use Android Studio till it's installing.
you can't close the default preferences window.
No, because it hosts as a sub process of the.
Okay. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I was hoping it would be smart like that. All right, what shall we do? So there are various things we could do. If we wanted to add a feature to the app, we could have it cycle through a bunch of different texts. So instead of just hello world and goodbye cruel world, we could add other things to it and make it have different state. We could add other text views to the relative layout. Yeah. Actually, since we have a few, we basically have some time left, let's do that. So what I want to do is when you click on Hello World, instead of just changing, I also wanted to add more text on the bottom. Right, so instead of replacing the text, just add more text to the bottom. And that should be easy to do. What we're going to do first, Deepak, did you stop sharing?
Yes.
No, sharing is caring. We want you to do the typing. You're the driver.
So I don't think that will be any of use until I'm done with the installation. So that is supposed to take quite some time.
You
No
can still
problem.
type. Can you still type even though the installation is going on, Deepak?
And continue, no problem. So I think my screen is back.
Yeah, it is. Good.
Yeah. So let's go to Studio. Yes.
So yeah, let's go to main activity.
Yeah.
And this is where mob programming or pair programming will really shine because you actually get to type this code rather than watching me talk about it. So
Okay.
what we want to do is on the onClick handler,
Onto the text view.
all the way at, let's see, maybe you didn't add this, but we can add this now. If you scroll all the way to the end of main activity, it's not in the layout. It's in main activity.
So this text view is all right. I'll probably go to values and strings.
Yeah, back in main activity. Nice. I even remembered what I called it to.
Yeah.
Let me check in on Deal and Adrian to see.
One on the group, so maybe that'll work now.
Oh, hey, Adrian, I hear you.
Hey, well, I'm here now with the group.
Awesome.
Yeah, can you maybe? Hopefully, we can like hear everybody. But yeah, so I can kind of work with people because people are kind of coming from different places over on this side. So where is the docs for this? Do you have like sort of the docs for this session somewhere?
Yeah, it's just a short list of our goals, and we've gone through half of them. Due to misscheduling with Mountain Time, one of the chats started an hour earlier, and so I've already been working with some people for an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
But so if you have people there, give you their email addresses, you can add them as members of the Slack team.
Okay, cool.
Let me make you an administrator so you can add people.
Thank you.
Back to the dead. Seattle. Adrian's.
Yeah, how many people are there, by the way?
There's quite a few actually, and there's 7, I think.
There's 7?
Yeah, we got a crew over here.
Wow, that's amazing. I hope you can handle them all. That's a great turnout.
What's up?
That's a great turnout. I hope you can handle them all.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think it might make more sense since you're already so far into it with your side. Yeah, I can just kind of go kind of separately, and we can maybe, I guess, connect on Slack maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I still would like to say hello to everyone there and give a short introduction.
Cool. Yeah, I would like that too.
Yeah.
Just the problem is the audio is not. Can you guys hear him okay?
I can.
Okay. Figure out how to.
Let me stop my sharing.
Is it Bluetooth or is it?
I don't know.
Cable.
The problem is the audio is not very loud.
Can I project louder? Should I just talk really loudly? Really loudly. I can't talk too loud. The neighbors are getting annoyed.
Can you guys hear?
Is it up on here? Can we just?
Yeah. La la la. Can you hear me?
On the soundbar. What is there on or?
Hold on, I'm just gonna try it. We're just trying to. What soundbar?
That big JBL thing. It's the speaker.
Oh,
That's the
thing.
speaker. Yeah.
Like on here?
Yeah. Is there?
Yeah, yeah, no, it was in here working before, but now it's not coming through. Let me try it. I'll just try it one more time.
Just also for system purposes, you just check the sound output and make sure it's
Okay, yeah.
have an option with computer sending it through Bluetooth.
For that or from on my computer?
Well, you were doing it through your computer, right? Oh no, it was not your computer.
No.
Yeah. Maybe it's Bluetooth.
How's it going?
Can you talk again, Paul?
Yeah. Talk. Check. 1, 2.
Just it's like only out of my computer, and it's not even as loud as it normally is.
That is the worst of all possible worlds. Okay.
Oh, it's not connected.
Yeah, it used to come out of there.
Used to.
Is there a way of unhooking it? Well, you have HDMI hooked up and the sound is soft. Is that?
Yeah, the sound used to work on a second ago. Actually, I could try. Yeah, it was weird. It was working on this other link. Yeah, let me try the other link, but the other link we can't. Actually, I guess if I put them both on, maybe that would work.
Yeah, it's also more important for people to hear me than to see me just for the welcome message part.
For sure.
If you want, you can unplug the HDMI cable, and I'll just say my welcome message and say hello to everyone.
Okay. We got it now.
Yeah, it's also more important for people to hear me than to see me.
All right, we're ready. I won't be able to talk to you, but they'll hear you. So go.
Okay.
Okay, so I've set up the text view. Now I need to get the string. Right?
Yeah, that's right. And then you'll set the text view. So I can't tell if people in Seattle can hear me. Can you give me a sign on
See
Slack?
the string, right?
Yeah, so to get the string, you call get resources, open close paren.
Get resources.
That's right, and then get string. Adrian, can you tell me on Slack whether you can hear? Okay, great. I was just giving Deepak some instruction. But so welcome, everyone. This is strange. I can't see you or hear you, but I know you're there. I can feel your presence. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Paul Pham, and this is our very first workshop for the Invisible College, which is an independent school that I'm starting. There are other branches of it. My friends Mike and Travis are working on Considerate and StateBus, which is software for better online decision making and a distributed web framework. And we're working on exciting things like blockchain technologies and distributed autonomous corporations and all kinds of great things that will make society better. But the educational branch is what I'm running, and this workshop is our first class. So thank you for joining us. And Adrian, who you can see there with you, is helping me design and lead the class. Adrian wrote the parts of the class having to do with maps and geographical information. But our goal tonight is to write your first Android app. Probably for many of you, it's your first Android app. You've heard about it, you've been curious, you own Android devices, but now you want to be a power user. You want to be not just a consumer anymore. And tonight we're going to write a simple app, and we're going to go straight from the beginning to signing in and uploading it to the Play Store, and it'll feel awesome. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for us. I'm with a group already that is purely just on the internet. We're just talking heads, and we've been working for an hour already to warm up. So you know, we can provide help. And there's also a group joining on Live Coding TV, which is a new thing. It's the new nerd theater where nerds watch other nerds code, and it's mostly just screen shares. And there are about, I think, 8 people in the chat room with me, maybe 10 people. So welcome to them too. They haven't been bored so far with me talking. I've been trying to describe things in excruciating detail. And the main teaching technique at the Invisible College is mob programming. So you may have heard of pair programming, where you have a driver who does the typing, and then a navigator, which is the person who sits next to the driver and guides him and, you know, heckles him or her and, you know, provides useful advice. And so the two of you together stay engaged. You're not surfing Facebook. You're not distracted. You're working on the same thing at the same time. You can generalize that to the whole room, and that's called mob programming, to N people, right? It's now you still have one driver. You're still working on one computer. And Adrian, as much as possible, if you can project onto the big screen, I would encourage you, I would strongly ask you to have one driver on one computer, which is your computer, hooked up to the screen. And the advantage of using your computer, Adrian, is that you probably have a working Android dev environment, given all the great things I've seen you do with it over the past few days. And then you switch out. So you pick someone. You can take volunteers, but if no one volunteers, you can volunteer for them. And the job of the driver is only to click and type what everyone tells them to. So it's not meant to be stressful and high pressure. And everyone else, you know, your job is to think of what to do, solve the problem. And Adrian is the facilitator, so he will choose the goal and, as much as possible, have you help each other to solve the goal. Tell the driver what to do, and then every, let's say, 10 minutes or so, swap out the driver. And in this way, you're not just listening to lecture. Like, it's okay to listen to me lecture right now, but much longer than that would get really boring and disengaging, and that's why most school sucks. But the Invisible College is better than most school, and you're actually going to be you're going to be learning by typing. And now that's the main part of our goal. This is the first workshop in a class which has 8 sessions. If you like what you experienced tonight, which we hope you do, we're pretty sure that you'll like it because I'm excited about this teaching method. Talk to Adrian, go to our website. There are 8 more sessions which you can sign up for. They will also be hosted at Metrics. They'll use the same style. You'll be able to program a map app, a game app where you can click on this cute animated robot and achieve high scores. I'll show what that looks like at the very end, but I don't want to talk too much more because I want you guys to get started, to learn by doing. Adrian has a link to the repo. Okay, website, good question. Invisible.college. And the repo should be this one. GitHub.com/InvisibleCollege Robot Heart. Robot Heart is the name of our class. In the future, we'll have a lot of expressive art and typography, but the Android phone you have is a robot. Androids are robots, and it has a heart, and you want to understand what makes it tick. So that link I just pasted into Slack is the agenda for today. And Adrian can go through it with you. Adrian, we're just creating a empty project with a blank activity and having a text view that says hello world, and when the user clicks on it, it changes the text to something else. So that's all we're doing, pretty simple. And you can walk through the steps of signing that app, the APK, so generating a key store, signing with that key store, and then when you're ready in Slack, have people give me their email addresses, and I'll add them as release managers to the Google Play account that I have, and that will let all of you upload your own apps. That's the benefit. That's one of the great benefits of coming to this workshop, is that you don't have to pay the $25 fee. You can use our account, and you can publish as many apps as you want to, or until we get in trouble, just to test out, get your feet wet in this little adventure called Android app development. All right. That's the end of my spiel. I'm going to, Adrian, you can get back on video chat now, and let's go from there. Thanks for listening, everyone. How do I let Adrian add, manage team members and roles? Okay, Randy and Adrian are now admins, so you should be able to add people. And then Live Coding People had a good question. Said, I'm confused, you're building an Android app or a reactive app using Meteor, your description didn't match up. Oh yeah, hey JTryon. Sorry the description didn't match up. I changed the channel title to be Write Your First Android App. Yeah, in the past I've written a reactive Meteor app, but that's not what we're doing tonight. In future workshops, if you like what you see, we are going to compile Meteor apps to Android using Cordova. And the reactive map app I wrote in Meteor in the past, whenever I was hitchhiking across the country, we'll be able to compile that to an Android app, and
just like basically
the differences.
Where of course can talk to each other and ask questions at any time, so it's super useful. Hey, what's up, Paul? I'm back.
Cool. Did my voice come through? Did I partially make sense?
Yeah, everything made sense and everyone could hear it fine. So
okay,
so that's
great.
Good. So yeah, I think
I can see Jonathan there. Yeah, so I made you an admin. Go ahead and ask for people's email addresses or have them type them into your computer and add them on Slack.
Cool.
And then, yeah, take it from there. I'll check in with you in, I don't know, 40 minutes or an hour or so.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you on site. Yeah, we should use the Learn Android channel, right? Or teach. Yeah. Oh yeah, Learn Android. Yeah.
Learn Android. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we'll be in touch.
Thanks, Adrian. Yeah, so everyone watching on live coding, let me fire up OBS again. Be buggy, but that is the discrepancy. Hopefully you like writing your first Android app and you can follow along. And we'll do reactive Meteor stuff some other time. Oh no, my face is on the video chat all the time. So I subconsciously like pick my nose and everyone can see it. So embarrassing. Oh well. Oh, Deepak, you need to be invited to Slack. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, how are you doing on your thing?
I'm setting up the on-click listener. I think screen share dropped, I think. Just, yeah. So I'll have to start that again. Yeah. So you should be able to see my screen now. Wait a second. Yeah.
Yeah, so your question is how to do the on.
So want to set up the on-click listener now for the text view TV.
Yeah, we're going to do it the absolute easiest way. So Scott, I'm going to have you look at my screen and describe to Deepak how to add the on-click listener. Does that make sense? It's very convoluted. Can't hear you, Scott, so your microphone is muted.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to accidentally brush it and interrupt your great speech.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. Can you see my screen? Can you see the on-click method?
Oh, not yet. Oh, Paul. 1 second. Gotta click on the right person.
Yeah.
Lucky video. That's the one thing that sharing like this doesn't account for, is when the video wants to compress.
Oh yeah, when it becomes all blocky and stuff.
Yeah.
It also can't detect when you're looking at a video of a video of a video. So it's a really cool visual effect, but you'd think they'd be able to solve it by now. They're like, that's usually not what people want to see.
No, I think they love that. I mean, it's peering ever deeper into the bowels of the computer.
I mean, it used to require, like, Douglas Hofstadter, when he wrote Gödel, Escher, Bach, like, used to pay money to set up, like, TV and camera equipment. It was, like, a really expensive illusion to generate with, like, saturating this analog video broadcasting. And now you can do it all the time with Google Hangout. So can you see my text?
I can see your screen. I just can't read your text.
Oh, maybe I need to make it bigger. Is it too small?
No, it's not the size. It's just coming through JPEG compressed. So.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
That's not something you can solve, I don't think. Let me see.
I can make the text bigger. Well, the method to add is called onClick, and the signature is public void. Oh God, that's terrible. That's not what I wanted.
Okay, I think I'm back now. So hey Scott.
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah. So
So we're going to
I'll
decipher
share.
blockies here. So did you catch that first part? So the signature of the method that you're adding is going to be public void?
No. Actually, my connection dropped away and I could not listen to you.
Okay.
So you want to see my screen? So I'm already sharing my screen. So here's what I have on my Android Studio. So for the onCreateBundle method, I've already got the text view set up here and the hello string into a variable. Next, we need to set up the listener for the text view, the hello text view.
So pause the video, drop down again.
Say what, Scott?
Oh, I was trying to. Never mind. You told me to look at your video, so let's look at your video. Now I'm looking at the Deepak's video. Oh, you're confusing me.
So I'll describe it to you, but I won't be able to see what you're typing. So the method to add is called public void on click in camel case. So ON uppercase C LICK.
Yeah.
And it takes one parameter, which is a view, and we'll call it little v.
Yes.
And then open curly brace.
Yes.
And you're going to cast v to a text view. So you're going to declare a new variable, text view, tv equals in parens text view, and then the letter v, semicolon. And then you're going to use a Boolean flag variable, which I've called isHello. And isHello is going to be true initially, and you're going to test if isHello, open curly brace, then get the goodbye string, set the goodbye string, set text as the goodbye string, and then set isHello to false. So I know that was a lot. I can say it again.
So
let me see where you're at.
So Boolean is hello is set to true, then if it's is hello, then it's set pv dot.
First, you want to get the string by string. So you can copy and paste or use a very similar line to line 22 up above. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll eventually need both strings. So you can actually keep the hello string and copy and paste it to make a by string as well. Yeah, I can only imagine the inefficient video processing we're doing. So I'm looking at Deepak's screen, and then I am rebroadcasting that out again to livecoding.tv.
Okay.
Pretty ridiculous.
So then we have in that case we set string to, if it's already a hello string, we say a by string. Else
you got it. If you're missing one extra.
Sorry?
So that's correct, except you're missing one step. Maybe Scott can tell you.
Shouldn't that boolean be outside of this method? But I don't know where. I wasn't. I think I lost your video when you were setting that up.
Right, it should be up here in the main activity so that every method is able to access it. So, and probably we should change the values of this hello boolean.
Right.
So is hello equal to false, and here we can again say that is hello equal to true, so that every time we click on this text box, the text actually changes. So now, are we going to bind this method on the text view itself, or we should be doing it on a separate button? Can you hear me, Scott?
I wasn't on the video when Paul was talking about that. I don't know how he had it set up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Deepak. It looks good.
Yeah.
Now
so
it is, as they say, guaranteed to work. It cannot fail.
we haven't actually bind this method to anything. We will probably have to do that first.
Yeah, that's. Oh no! Looks like nothing was installed. It's the saddest message I've ever seen.
That's what I was worried about.
That was like 20 minutes. It says nothing was installed. It's terrible. Yeah. So well, you can run it on your phone anyway. But yeah, the way you're correct. You need to bind it to the view, and the way you do that is in content main.xml. There is a property. There's an attribute of text view that you can set on.
Let's say content main and hello, and then we'll. Okay, I want to do it up here. On click. So what I want to write here is on click, and probably parenthesis.
Yeah, except you don't need the parens, just the name of the method.
Okay, so this should do it. Now how do we run it?
That should do it. And then,
that's the problem. Let's try again if it has something.
what happened?
I'm just trying to run it on the emulator if it can run it. I'm not very sure of it since. Okay, so API 21.
Can you connect it to your real device?
I do not seem to have API like 23 on my virtual device. So
Oh yeah, so you can create a new one.
I'm gonna change that back to 21. I think that should help us.
Yeah, you can do that too. You can change, so go to Gradle scripts and build.gradle, and yeah, scroll up. Oh, it's not in that one. It's build.gradle, the other one for the app module.
Build types, yeah. So this is
There you
SDK version. Let's see it to 21 and move to 21.
Target SDK version 21 also. And I don't know for sure whether the build tools have to match, but maybe they do.
Min should be like
15 is
fine. Let's just keep it to just one build so that. Okay, then we have compile issues. So it's to 21 and 21. Yes.
So those versions may not exactly exist, but we'll find out.
Let's try.
Okay.
Uh, okay, it's still running the build.
So there's some errors.
Oh yes, open message. Fail to. Okay, wait a second. So it failed to
Yeah.
resolve 2110. That's I think referring to this line
Yeah.
25.
Versions don't.
So what goes here is
You can just try it with the original 23.1.0 and see if it will still work.
will that? No.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the actual numbers are different. So you can.
Uh, can
Let
I
me look
skip
up.
compiling these app combats?
You kind of need app compat.
Since it's like my minimum compiled SDK and the target SDK both are same, so I probably do not need the compatible libraries.
Say that
So
again?
if I'm right, the compat libraries are supposed to be used when you are building onto a different SDK version and then you are want to support other SDK versions. So since in this case we have the same minimum SDK and the same target SDK, so we probably do not need any compiled libraries here.
Well,
Support library.
that might be true for app compat because that's to provide backwards compatibility to older SDK versions, but you
Yes.
may find that design is still necessary, but go ahead and save the file and try building again.
So let's see if this helps. I think it worked. Uh-oh.
Yeah, so you still need the
Okay.
design. You still need a design library. So what you can do is try downloading an image for API 23, or you can look up the version package number on Maven Central or J Central, which is where these are installed. Let me look up.
Again, the hex thing is worrying me. So since
Yeah, I would just run it on your phone. So go ahead and change the version back to 23 and compile and connect it to your phone. You don't need to run it on the emulator.
so I've changed everything back to 23 and moved min SDK to 20 to 15. So let's sync that up if that works fine. In the meantime, I'll just get my phone and
Yeah. So what we can do in the meantime is I will add you as release managers on my Google Play account.
is there a way I can project my phone on the screen?
You can hold your phone up to the screen. That's about it. Oh wait, there's a maybe. I mean, if you're doing
There should be
Chromecast,
something to do that.
oh, there is.
Sorry?
If you have Google Chromecast, you could do it.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. There's another emulator you can try, which Adrian uses, called Genymotion.
Okay, so I'm just trying it on my phone if it can come up, and my phone is connected. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, so my screen share is still running. I don't know my. So I'll probably hold up my phone against the camera, and that should be the way to do it for now.
Yeah, that's good enough. And you'll actually get the satisfaction of touching the screen and seeing it change back and forth between hello world.
If you see, this is what I have on my screen.
It's out of focus. Can you hold it up closer to the lens?
Okay, so can you? Yeah. So it's still not in focus.
It looks blank.
So text view is not actually visible here.
Yeah, that's strange. Let's see. You may have missed.
Probably because I haven't set the initial text on the view. So let's get.
Oh wait, yeah. If you don't set the initial text view, then there's nothing to click on. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
So I'll just see. tv.set is hello string, and I'll set this to okay, so this should help me, and I'll run again with these changes.
How's it going, Scott? Where are you at?
Yeah, so we have the screen here. Like it's not visible enough. What? Yeah. So you can see the text here.
Yep.
Yeah, it says hello world. And then what happens when you click on it with your finger?
Did the text change?
Nope.
Okay.
You click it.
So I clicked it and it changed to goodbye.
Yes.
Can you see that?
Yep.
That was super satisfying. Hopefully it was satisfying for you too.
So I'll change it again, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it switched back to hello world.
Yeah, you can do this all day, can't you?
Until you go insane. Now I'm installing the hardware accelerator so I can start the emulator.
Oh, awesome. But you can also run it on your phone like Deepak just did and get the visceral satisfaction.
Yeah, that's assuming that I've installed the USB drivers.
Oh, I think
No, I don't think you need to do anything special on. If you are on a Mac, it just works out of the box. You just have to add you do not even need to add an entry to the files.
Pod knows this already. I don't touch Apple products.
Yeah, I recall that. Yeah, doesn't work
We're
on Mac.
a .NET shop where I work, so. I was actually going to mention, somebody was asking something about cross-compatible libraries and things, and I was wondering if you had done much research in playing around with PCLs.
No, what are PCLs?
It's a technology Microsoft released 2 years ago now called Portable Class Libraries in conjunction with Xamarin. But it's actually a single binary compilation of your DLLs that will run on Android, Windows, and iOS, but it's all native code. So it's actually using some good old C++ bindings to work on all the platforms. So it's a really good home for all of your shared business logic. Yeah. And then you just custom write the UI code for each of your implementations, because let's face it, it behaves better and looks nicer and follows the design patterns if you do it that way. Yeah, so this is a way of running .NET. I mean, .NET already is a runtime on all these platforms, right? It is, well, the Mono framework, but this isn't actually relying, so it's actually kind of neat. So you can write a PCL in C++, or you can write it in C#, but it then gets compiled down to a C++ DLL that works cross-platform.
So in that case, I'll have to first learn to write C hash.
Well, sure, but if you can write a language, you can write any other language. You just need a syntax help, right? That's what I'm picking up. It's like, I have Android, I should do this. I'm actually working on something to go with this in my Pebble smartwatch and tying all of those things together. Oh yeah, for sure, especially the Android Pebble smartwatches. Yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you guys up too much later. Let's see if we can sign this app in and upload it. So, where were you at? Oh, Scott, you were installing the emulator, but you can run it just on your phone. So you say. That is my hope.
Okay. I think we should switch to Scott's screen so that we can see the stuff going on there.
Oh yeah, I'll have to wait for the studio to restart because it just finished the hardware driver and wanted to restart.
Okay.
So I'll let you know when that's finished. For some reason, you know, Windows, Java, they never play well together. They're always slow.
So Adil, I'll just catch you up on text. You're not that far behind.
Did you add me into the Slack channel?
I thought I did. Did you not receive an invite?
I didn't see one hit my inbox.
Okay, I can send you another one.
Just wiseman13 at Gmail.
Oh, hey, Randy, have you been here the whole time? Spider gears? Oh, maybe I didn't see your email address. Let me scroll up. So you probably sent it to me in a private chat, right?
It's just wiseman13 at Gmail.
Wiseman13 at Gmail.
I remember getting that invite in high school, and I never changed away from it.
The Gmail invite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came out in our senior year. Oh my goodness, I feel old now.
Oh, I resisted Gmail for a long time. Like I was in my fifth year of undergrad, and I finally maybe in grad school, I finally bit the bullet and decided that it was unavoidable. I didn't really want to like it, but it's just so indispensable now.
I don't remember if I think I got that from Addit.
The Gmail invite? Oh yeah, back when they were a precious thing. Not just everyone could get them.
Right. Back in the day when it was an exclusive club. Now it's all mundane. Just anyone can pick one up.
Yeah, there's like a balance between exclusivity and like widespread approval and profit. Like Facebook for a while was exclusive, and then now they're very accessible because they want to make more money selling ads. But Deepak, do you want to sign your app and upload it?
Sorry?
Do you want to sign your app and upload it?
Sure, no problem.
All right, let's do it. I will add you.
Just guide me through the steps. So I haven't done this anytime before.
That's okay. That's the whole point of this workshop, is that we want to save you time from you figuring it out on your own. There'll still be some group figuring it out, but in general, time will be saved.
Okay, so let's get to it.
Yeah, so I'm going to send you an invite. Maybe you can still see my screen. Am I still sharing?
Yep.
Sorry? Yeah.
I'm still sharing? Okay, good. This is Google Play Developer Console. I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to add you. How do I add you? User accounts and rights. Okay, so if you check your email, Deepak, you should get an invite to Google Play, and then you can accept it.
Okay, just syncing my email. Okay, and I have the invite.
Yeah.
It wants me to enter my password.
Maybe you'll let me know when you're done, and I can walk you through the next step.
Yeah, I've accepted the invite. I'm on the developer console. Yes.
Okay. So that's all you need to do. We'll hold off on uploading a new app for now, but now you want to go to Android Studio and share your screen. And
Just I'm in Android Studio and my screen is shared.
then go to Tools, or sorry, Build. Go to Build.
Okay. I'm in build.
And generate signed APK.
Yes.
And that's the correct module, so click Next. And since I'm assuming you've never created a key store before, we'll do it now. And you'll choose Create. So a key store is a collection of keys, and what's best practice normally is to create a separate key for every app, so they're protected separately, and then you collect all the keys together, and it's called a key store. So a key store is just a directory, special directory on your computer.
I think I already have a key store here. Don't know. I just don't know where it is saved.
Okay. If you can find it, great. If you don't want to remember it, then just create a new one. I created a directory called key store in my home directory just to make it simple.
Okay, let's just create a new one for now.
Yeah.
So I'll have to give it a path and Let's say path is Android Studio projects. So this is robot app.jks. Okay, I want a password here. Okay, then the key alias. So keep that to robot app, same as our file name. And what password is okay? And validity is 25 years. Certificate, first name and last name. Can you see the screen?
Yeah. So go ahead and you can create a fake certificate. First and last name. You can make up all of these. Organization. You can call yourself Invisible College or your own college, Deepak College.
Okay, that will be better. So let's keep this Invisible College.
Oh, I mean that's the organization name, but you should add your first and last name, and this is purely for testing. So
let's keep all these same. So what's the location or city you want it to be? Paul?
you can call it. You can literally make them anything. You can make it wherever.
Country code is 91, I suppose.
Country code, I think, is like 01 for US, 91 for India, maybe. Okay,
Yes.
so you should remember those passwords and the location of your key store.
Hey, what's up, Paul?
Hey, Adrian, what's up?
Sorry to interrupt. Am I interrupting?
No, not at all.
Cool. So yeah, just wanted to check in with you. Did you invite folks to the Slack?
I was going to get to that right now, but you also should be an administrator, and you can add them if you want to.
I should be what?
An administrator, so you should be able to add them if you want to.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Maybe I'll just do it myself then.
I can help you with some of it.
Cool. Yeah. What do you have in mind as far as like how are you kind of proceeding with things like in terms of the mob programming like?
Yeah. So I am having them change the text view to say hello world, but using a string ID instead of hard coding the value into the layout.
Yep.
And then I am having them add an on-click handler so that if they click on the string and it says hello, then it changes it to another string that says goodbye, goodbye cruel world, and then they click it again, it just toggles back and forth. I can actually copy and paste that link into Slack.
Okay, awesome. So do you suggest maybe just going through and seeing, just kind of letting the class take control, trying to figure that, sort of get that working?
Yeah, so they won't know everything, like how to get a text view or how to get resources, for example. So you'll have to provide that help, but as much as possible, some of them may know Java already, and give them a high-level task like, for example, how would you tell if the string hello world is being displayed right now so that you can toggle it to something else? And guide them towards, I created a flag variable called isHello, and I changed that from true to false and false to true.
Yep. Okay, cool, yeah. All right, that makes sense.
So you can give them high-level goals, and if they get stuck or need specific syntax, then you can make the goals more specific, or actually tell them, because you know the Android API, and that's like the hardest thing to learn. It seems like a lot of stuff to memorize whenever you first learn it.
Totally. Cool. All right, that sounds good.
And then, yeah, so I'll go ahead and add them to Slack so you can concentrate on mob programming. And yeah, almost the most important thing is like switching out drivers every 10 minutes. And I'll also add them as release managers to the Google Play account. And so then when you're ready, you can sign APKs and they can upload them.
Cool. Yeah, so you'll add those same email addresses to there.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. All right, sweet. Wait, so one other question for you though. Are you are you kind of hoping everyone else would kind of on their own computers have kind of everything working at the same time?
Are you using your computer only for driving?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
But as far as like going to the Play Store, would that be something everyone's doing individually?
When they get home, they can do it individually because they'll have access to this video, and they can scrub forward and backwards to replay it. But for the purpose of this workshop, one person who's the driver should be signing the APK and uploading it. And everyone sort of provide suggestions and help.
Cool.
Yeah, but as much as possible, like you have a big group, so actually you can actually step back a little more and only help whenever people get stuck. Like remind them what they're supposed to be doing, but you know, let them lead.
Cool.
If they have ideas. Yeah, and if you want, I can lead remotely. If you want to put me on like the speakerphone again, maybe towards the end.
Sure. Yeah. We'll check back in and see if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, just because I know you've never seen like mob programming led before, so it's kind of hard to implement it just by hearing about it.
Yeah, that would be useful.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, let me add those email addresses, and then if you want, I can help lead like mob programming really quickly just now, like in a few minutes.
Sure. Yeah. You want me to just put you on the main screen?
I think they need to see what they're doing, but
just put the audio on, you mean?
Just put the audio on, if that's possible. Have a screen showing the code, and the audio is me.
Yeah, the problem is that the audio things might get screwed up if I do that. That's the problem.
Oh, I see.
Wonky going on with this whole Hangout situation.
Yeah. But
I guess you could lead it just from like here. I guess like can you guys? Yeah, you guys can kind of hear, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's okay to hear. So I can just like put you up on. I'll just share the screen, my screen now.
Yeah.
And then do you wanna just go for it now?
Yeah. Let me click it and. So Deepak, you're doing great. Go ahead and finish it. And then reveal the APK in the Finder, and then upload
software, because I only got the thing about installing, the thing about now meeting, so it took.
So I should just find someone who wants to drive, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Who wants to drive? You guys, yeah, the driver doesn't actually have to do anything, like think really. They just have to like, type. So it's not that scary. Everyone else has to do the thinking, basically.
Okay. So yeah, the driver is just a secretary.
What's that?
The driver is just a secretary. It's purely bureaucratic. Like, no original thought is required, but of course you're welcome to have original thoughts.
Coffee? Oh yeah. No, the driver is the secretary, so they have to get coffee and code at the same time.
That's right.
Okay, so I have things in my Finder now. So
does anyone want to drive?
See app release APK.
Okay, and this is meant for Deepak. You can go to so accept the invite to the Google Play Developer Console, and then add a new application and upload.
Yeah, listen to that. Yeah. All right. Hopefully everyone else.
Your APK. So hello, who do we have driving?
Drew.
Drew.
Yep.
Did I get that right? Welcome, Drew.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the first thing that we want to do is to display Hello World. And I know the app already displays Hello World, but we're going to do it a little bit differently in a little bit more maintainable way. So if we ever wanted to add a translation to a different language, for example, like Hola Mundo, we could do that. And then also we could add a string for like Goodbye Cool World, like other greetings in the future. So to start with, let's go to content main. Oh wait, let's see. You've created a slightly different empty project than I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, this is just like what was generated with Android Studio, so we just kind of rolled with that.
Oh yeah. Can I see activity giggle
Yeah,
byte.x?
we decided to name it Gigabyte.
Yeah, that was good. I like it. Okay, so you already have the text being set to a string ID. Does that work, Adrian? Setting text to be @string hello world?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Okay, great. So, well, we've already gotten it part of the way there. Our goal is to, when you click it, you change the text to say something else. In this case, you can say, goodbye for now or goodbye cruel world, depending on how depressing you want to be about the example.
Change the text in the string reference?
It uses the string ID right now. But if you go back to activity, the activity code, gigabyte.java. So let's create a method called public void on click in camel case.
Sorry, what?
Public void method called, with the signature public void and on click in camel case.
On click what?
In camel case, you got it. So camel case means that the first letter of each word is capitalized.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Except for the first one, which is lowercase.
Okay.
And then it has one parameter, which is a view. And so it's of type view, and we're going to call it little v.
Like view?
Yep. So the view is the Android word for any visual widget. So anything that you can see on the screen, it's called a view.
Okay.
And so the way activities work, all these methods are not called at any particular time except in response to the user. So Android waits for the user to do something, like start up the app or click on something, and then it calls your code to figure out what to do. And most of the Android API is this way. So great. You have an empty function. Go ahead and press enter. Go ahead and press enter just to separate the curly braces. They're too close together for my liking. We need to add lines between them. Good. Okay. And actually, since we're just demonstrating mob programming now, that's actually the right bite-sized amount of typing. So thank you, Drew. Point to someone else and have them take the hot seat.
I don't.
Okay. All right.
Okay. The router is running.
All right.
Who do we have driving?
Jonathan.
Oh, hey, Jonathan. You know about driving. Let's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So let's get a handle on our text view. So everything in the layout in the XML file we can get a grasp on in the program and actually do stuff with it. So the program tells us how to change stuff in the layout over time. So what we want to do is declare a variable, and its type is text view, again in camel case, but with the uppercase T text view. Oh, except you're not in JavaScript anymore, Jonathan.
Oh, okay.
It's just the type, so uppercase T text view. And there's probably some special name for the case where you, like it. Camel case is when you capitalize the beginning letter of each word, but when you also capitalize the first letter of the first word, that's some kind of special case that I forget. But anyway, text view, and we're going to follow the Java convention of naming the variable after the initials of the type, so TV. But you had it right the first time.
Oh, okay.
Text view start with a capital T. And Android Studio will give you the helpful hint that it'll turn red whenever you type the wrong thing.
TV.
Thanks. Sorry. I will put this aside to ask about what we can do with it in the future.
that right?
There you go, Larry.
Okay, so TV is in text view, and then we're going to assign to it.
Okay. So.
So we're going to cast. We're going to sort of coerce a value into the right type. So type open paren, and then the same type, which is text view in the same casing.
Okay.
Was TV supposed to be TV? Probably.
Yeah, probably.
TV.
I think so.
TV.
Okay.
That would make sense.
Yeah, you can actually name it whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
But this one does.
Oh, right on. Okay. I got
I
it.
think the view is IDE switch.
Almost like that.
Text.
Try again.
Okay.
Awesome. Now what we want to do is get a resource by ID. So I think the function is called find view by ID in camel case, but with no dot. Yeah, that's kind of new syntax in Java. That means whatever is returned by find view by ID, it's going to cast it. It's going to coerce it into a text view type.
Okay, but it's going to be. I need to do it.
The function is called lowercase f find view by ID. Uppercase V. Nope, all one word.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least I think that's what it's called. Let me check.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It should be find view by ID. Maybe some other capitalization is.
That's it.
No, that should work. You just have to.
Maybe open paren. Maybe it's objecting because you haven't called it. There you go. Wait, maybe no.
I think it'll end up being fine. I think maybe it just hasn't imported that package.
It looks like it hasn't because your view is currently red. Can't you like select that and hit Alt Enter to import?
Yeah, one quick way to maybe if you go to the view in this thing up here and like just click on it, and like if you ever see that, like you can at least in Mac you can say Option and Enter, and that'll like automatically import that.
Option Enter.
Yeah, it'll automatically add this import statement up here for that.
Oh, okay.
That's like an improvisation.
That was a great suggestion.
Yeah. Usually, like Eclipse would also do that, something similar. But yeah, so I think now it should work, right?
Oh yeah.
It still doesn't like that. Does it? It's weird.
Let's try and filling it in and see if it.
Should be capitalized or no? The F in find view by ID.
That F, yeah, no, it's actually supposed to be lowercase. Maybe it's just that we haven't typed the rest in yet, right?
Yeah, that seems likely. So
Yeah, sometimes it's
the thing that goes in there is an ID, and all IDs live in capital R dot ID.
Yeah, you do quotation. Or no, actually, sorry, it's just capital R. There, dot. ID.
Not that.
And what is it that you're looking for? Yeah, we're looking for the button, or for the hello world.
Can you scroll down and select things once it shows up like that?
Yeah, policy. Are you?
Shows up all those choices.
Yeah, so you can press dot to get some auto completion, and you also should make sure that you've given an ID to the text view in the layout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And do we want one of those bars here? Or?
Yeah, Paul, can you still hear us?
Yeah, so you want, I forget what you called it. If it were me, I called it something like Hello View.
Yeah, what we called the hello world, right?
Yeah, so whatever you called it. You can even make up an ID now and then go back to the layout and fix it up.
So I think we have not called it. I don't think we named it. Yeah.
So Adrian can tell you how to how to give that a label.
So yeah, basically, like I was explaining before, in order to like reference this element, we want to give it an ID. So if you do Android, just type in Android and enter. And then colon. Kind of like these are the different fields.
Okay.
So like this text, and if you just call it ID, colon ID, and you have to have no space.
Oh.
And then equals.
And actually, let me stop you there, and let's change drivers. So Jonathan, thanks so much for putting up with us. Point to someone else and have them take over the hot seat.
All right, guess I'll take a picture. Hey, Paul, this is Bing.
Hey, Bing.
How's it going?
It doesn't sound like Bing. Bing Chen?
How's it going?
It's going great. How's your product launch? How is life after their Kickstarter?
It's going all right. It's going all right.
That's awesome. You should tell me more later after we're done writing our first Android app.
Okay.
So Adrian, continue.
You guys have any idea? We're just going to assign it you're basically going to assign it an identifier. Do you guys have to tell them to write? Let's say we just want some identifier to be able to reference that element text view element. So yeah, it like specifically wants to type and then have ideas.
Something like that. Do I have to have a space here?
No.
Okay.
All of the same pattern as the other ones there. Like it's just like the text.
Text equal text.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just like Android layout with Android ID is the field, the identifier field. Android text is actually the text inside of that view.
Mm-hmm.
So it works the same way as those other fields.
Can you make it bigger? How do I make this bigger?
Yeah, it got smaller again, didn't it?
Oh, it is Command Plus.
I switched it to do.
Oh, okay, the preference. Got it. So, any idea what we want for ID?
We just name it.
Yeah, you can name it whatever you want. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, one just suggestion is like a lot of times it's a good idea to like name stuff according to like maybe what it is. Like you could say like text view hello or something like that. And then yeah, you need quotes around it. That's all those values. And then,
Single, double, single quote?
Double, yeah.
I hate that. Okay.
And then it looks like what happened with the other. See, the other one got. The other one got the Android got deleted on the other one.
That's Android.
Android.
Android dot text would be the string hello world.
No.
So before the colon, there should be a space in Android. I think that's another argument.
After hello text.
Right after
quote,
hello text.
Quote. There's a space.
So yeah, right after the colon after hello text.
Need some coffee.
Yeah.
Go to the left.
See the hello
Go to the
text
left.
string?
Left.
Hello. Got a little wrong, guys. There should be a space after hello text, and then Android colon text, and that looks good. That's good.
So they always have to start with Android.
Oh, except that the ID has to have a special form. It has to begin with an @ and have a plus sign, and then ID, the letters ID, / there you go. So that special mumbo jumbo means @ sign means what follows next is going to be a label, an ID. Plus means to add whatever comes next to the current resources of the project. So it's not an Android resource, it's a project-specific resource. And then ID means what follows next is going to be an ID. And then the specific part of that label that we get to choose is called hello text. So that's what all those symbols mean together. And yeah, thanks a lot, Bing. You've done a great service for your country. Pick someone else. And
So you keep typing because you didn't get the context right. It didn't turn green until we got everything proper, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I mean, just like okay.
Yeah,
A
Android
smart
Studio
editor.
is pretty good about like alerting if there's something syntactically wrong with your code. Yeah.
It's good. It does really good.
Yeah, Android Studio makes your life a bit easier. Sometimes too easy. You don't even have to know how things work, and it just fixes it. You know, so
And so that's now the naming the next argument? Is the Android text
yeah, so
string?
the actual ID, yeah, the ID is
Oh,
now hello text.
okay.
Yeah,
And that's associated with what?
with this text view.
With the okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
part of the
essentially this is a unique identifier now for this text
So you
view.
can tag using hello text.
Yeah, you can now reference, like one of the biggest uses of that would be to now in our code, right? We want to know when the user taps this particular text view, and in the code we want to be able to detect that with an on-click listener. And the only way we can like reference this specific object in the layout is if you assign it an ID. Yeah. So should we switch drivers or?
yeah. Yeah, Bing should choose someone new, and then we'll add an on-click handler. Or we'll finish the on-click handler.
Someone new.
No, it wants to be a
Someone
second.
new, that's right. Everyone will have to type, so we can't avoid it forever.
Would you like to drive?
I think my installation is finished.
Sometime.
Hello? That's an old-fashioned telephone. Who is our driver?
Kung.
Say again?
Kung.
Kun? Kun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kun, welcome. Yeah, I saw you respond to the meetup. I'm glad you could make it. Let's switch back to Gigabyte, the activity file, gigabyte.java. Yep, that one. The one below it.
Right below it, the file is the flat. Just double click that.
There you go. And then we're going to continue editing on click. So remember, when last we left our heroes, we needed an ID, and so now we gave it an ID. Do you remember what we called it? The hello world string.
Hello text.
Hello text. That was it.
That's right. And it should autocomplete for you. So just press enter. You'll accept the suggestion it gave you. Nice. And then what goes last on a Java statement? After the parentheses. It's a semicolon. So if you look at all the other lines above it, most of them end in semicolons, except for the ones that begin and end blocks. Yeah. So that should look good, but Android Studio is still unhappy about this Find View by ID. Can you hover over the red text Find View by ID and see if it'll give us a better error message?
Why it just keeps disappearing.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, I wonder if one thing we can try. Sometimes things.
Oh wait, okay. I think I might know what it is, which is that Find View by ID may only work in on create.
Yeah, I think you have to do the context, perhaps.
Yeah, shouldn't you be casting the view that's passed into your handler?
No, because you don't know beforehand what kind of view is going to generate it. So, Kung, copy or cut this line 30, and move it up to line 18.
Okay.
So go ahead and press Enter before the curly brace to add an extra blank line.
Which one?
And
Oh, yeah, that's not, you don't have that. But
paste.
that's a big practice because
This is,
basically
this
that's
is so-called copy pasta, copy and paste.
generated right for this version. But usually what that means is that particular method, like, because we're extending a class, that this method actually exists in that class, and you're overriding it to do something else. So like that trigger is telling people
If it's the same name.
exactly, and the same arguments as well. Yeah. Yeah, the override's really a helper. It's kind of like a comment. Yeah, that's the purpose, is that you want to notify developers that like this class is overriding something, and you can actually get rid of it and it won't. You can do that. Yeah, it'll be fine. No, I think it'll actually be fine. I think Java doesn't enforce that, so you don't have to have the override, but it's good to have it. But if you have it when you shouldn't have it, then it will notify you and say you shouldn't have override on here. It's not actually overriding. Yeah, you wouldn't be overriding. It's your extent. You're actually adding a whole new function. Yes.
Okay, let's paste this line. Let's get the text view on line 18.
It's not overloading the method.
So go ahead and type the same line as on line 21, but leave out the text view at the beginning of it. And the reason why is because we're going to declare it up above. And don't worry if that doesn't mean anything to you yet, but go ahead and leave off the text view. Don't type the beginning text view part, but type everything else the same as you see it in line 31.
TV. What does the R refer to?
Resource. Yeah, because that RES directory is like all of the different resource files. So those would be images, strings, and layouts. Yeah.
Oh, those were pretty.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Android Studio generated all that. Yeah. Yeah, I think you do need to equal. Yeah, you need equal after TV. That's weird. It's not.
That's not liking that either. I am going to.
That one thing, Paul. Just see, is this the issue?
Yeah, maybe Randy has an idea. He should join us.
Well, it's fine down there now.
Yeah.
It's okay down there, but not up there. I misspelled.
Just get rid of that.
Oh yeah, you did misspell it. Yeah, so it's actually it's just because usually I'll extend activity. Yeah, there's a bunch of different options for your types of activities, but the most basic form of the activity is just normal activity. So if we just use that, then it works okay. Yeah, app hat is like something about making it compatible with newer versions or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but I tend to use just normal activity. Yeah, there's like different kinds of activities that come with like extended features. So, but the most basic, like bare bones activity would just be extending normal activity. Yeah, I think app might be like old. So like an older.
Did
So there we are.
Did that type it? Did it put it in by itself, or did we before when you did app it?
Yeah, before we had like Android Studio generated some other random one, and then we changed it. Drew suggested change it to app compat, and we changed that. But that just seems to just not accept this particular find view ID. But so if you change it to activity, then that's kind of the more standard way of doing it. So so now we're back to now it should work. Yeah, so you actually can do it out here. It doesn't just have to be on the on create.
Is there a way to view the IDs you've created? Is there like a
yeah, if you just do r.id. They'll all come up there, yeah.
So that was a lot of typing from Kung. So go ahead, Kung, thanks for typing. Thanks for driving, and let someone else drive the bus now.
Take it back. Hey, it's Drew again.
Oh, but there are other people who haven't driven yet, Drew, aren't there? Are they still there?
You sure? Okay. Nobody wants? Yeah. No, I'm next apparently.
I will have to insist that if someone is there who hasn't driven yet, they drive next.
He insists.
Yes.
He's the master of the class.
It's my job to make you uncomfortable so that you will learn.
Fair enough.
We will tell you what to type.
I type the words you do.
That's the only requirement for the job.
Good assistant.
Hi, it's Audrey.
Hi, Audrey. Welcome. Thank you for accepting my discomfort.
I have to tell you, I don't do programming, so, you know.
That is all right. That means until now.
Right.
Yeah. Good.
I avoided it like the plague, so.
Yeah, well, we'll just gently urge you into typing one line, and see how you find it. Well, it'll get us closer to our goal. So what we want to do is on line 14, go ahead and click it and press Enter to insert 2 blank lines. And then go up to line 15 and indent. So you're going to press the Tab button. Great. And then you're going to type private space Boolean, that's Boolean, space is hello. And I want you to type it all in lowercase except for H, the H of hello, which is uppercase.
Sorry, what was that word again?
Is hello.
So whatever it suggests, if you want to take it instead of continuing to type, you hit enter.
Yeah.
Okay. Then press up. Yeah. So uppercase the H, so it doesn't look like I shallow, but instead we want to say is hello. And so this will be, to provide some explanation, this is a variable that is a Boolean. Boolean is not just a delicious stock you can add to your soups, but it is a data type that can be true or false. So go ahead and go to the end of the line where you see the red dot dot dot, and space, type space, and the equal sign, and another space, and the word true, all in lowercase TRUE. And you'll see that it turns dark blue because it's a special word in Java. It's one of the 2 Boolean values. The other one is false, so it's only true or false. And then type semicolon. And you're done. Thanks, Audrey.
You're welcome, Paul.
Yes. Yeah. It's now you have the power to point to someone else and make them uncomfortable for great learning.
really. Well, I guess we're back to Drew.
Are we?
Don't make me pull out the list of names. I've got it.
So you know what typo is?
Well, I could, but you guys will be sorry.
No, it can't possibly be wrong.
I don't type well.
Luckily, they're all in front of you.
It's less typing than normal English, so.
So,
All right, it's Paul, yes? I'm John.
John, is that the name I heard?
Yes.
Welcome, John. Thank you for accepting our challenge. So we are going to use this new Boolean variable that Audrey gave us.
Okay.
Thank you, Audrey. The gift of this variable. We're going to use it on line, the end of line 34, press enter, and create a new blank line on line 35.
Okay.
Great. And now we're going to take conditional action. So in computer code, we don't want to do all things all the time, but sometimes we want to select based on values and conditions to do certain things. So to take conditional action, we're going to type the word if, space, open parentheses, and the variable is hello, typed in exactly the same way that Audrey typed it on line 15. Not quite.
Yeah.
So go ahead and select accept its suggestion of is hello by pressing enter.
Okay.
And there you go. And you'll notice that, yeah, it's dark purple, and it also kind of highlights up above on line 15 where it was declared. So that's a useful feature to let you know that you are referring to the same variable that we declared up above. So go ahead and press right arrow to get to the end of the line. And space. And open curly brace.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
Open curly brace. Sorry, I'll enunciate some more. And then press enter. Great. So it knows that curly braces have to match. So now you're inside the body of the if. So things that we write on line 36 will only happen if is hello is true. And remember, is hello can only be true or false. So this is the true case. And there's also an else case. So there's things to do if is hello is false. So press down arrow to the end of line 37. And press space. And type the word else, E-L-S-E. Space. Open curly brace. And enter. So what you've done is you've set up the framework for us to take conditional action. So if is hello is true, we're going to do the thing on line 36, which is so far blank. Otherwise, if it's false, we'll do the thing on 38. And in this way, you can kind of guess how we're going to toggle back and forth. This will allow us to, when the user taps on the word hello world, if it already says hello world, we're going to change it to say goodbye. And if it says goodbye, we're going to change it back to say hello. But for now, you've done more than enough typing. Thanks, John.
Oh, thank you.
Point to someone else, and we'll continue.
Okay, well, I'm not. Who's the last one, or the one who hasn't been here in the longest?
I think that's me. Hey, it's Drew again. There's actually no one else this time.
Oh, it's Drew again. Okay, welcome back, Drew. So in line 36, we are going to get a string with the ID, I forget what you called it, hello string, something like that?
hello text?
Hello text? No, that's the view name.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll figure it out. It'll autocomplete for us. So first we'll declare a variable type string. So capital S string space, and let's call it goodbye string. Because remember, this is if it's already displaying hello, we're going to get the goodbye string and assign it to get resources, open close paren, so it's a function call, and this lets us access all of our resources as an object. And then leave the parens empty, dot get string, there you go. And inside the parameter will be big R dot string lowercase string dot and I forget what you called it. You may have to switch to the strings.xml file to remember what you called it. Oh, you actually need two strings, so go ahead and create another string. So copy pasta line 4, and make the name match the string. So it says goodbye world, make the name be goodbye string.
Oh, okay, here.
And then create another one that says hello world, hello string.
Okay. Oh, should I just change this hello world to hello string?
Yeah, just to make it consistent. I like to make things consistent.
All right. Oh, well, actually, we changed the goodbye world here. Should we change that back to hello world?
Yeah, you should make the text of the string match the name.
Okay.
Yeah, I am complete consistency now.
Number 4, yeah. Okay.
Did someone say hey, Paul?
So that's right? Or
yeah. Are you satisfied? Does it look right to you?
You wanted that to be called hello string?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then yeah. That's right.
Good. Cool. So then go back to the Java code. And now where you called r.string, you can fill it in with the correct string ID.
Okay.
Great. So then press enter and start a new line. And what you want to do is set the text of TV to be goodbye string. So you're going to type tv.setText. Nope, you're not going to assign to it. That's right, set text.
That is it a character sequence?
Nope, you're just going to pass in goodbye string, which is the variable you created on the previous line.
Oh, I guess I'm going to do this. I don't know, goodbye one word or two?
It's one word. It matches. So
it's now.
Yeah. Cool. So thanks, Drew. Pass it on to someone else.
Okay. Hey, Paul, it's Jonathan again.
Hey, Jonathan. So you're going to copy and paste lines 36 and 37 into line 30. Yep, just select the whole thing.
After the curly brace?
On line 39. Right. So we need to decide what to do in case isHello is false. And in the first case, we changed it to the goodbye string. What would you guess we're going to do in this case?
It's going to be the hello string?
That's right. So everywhere you see goodbye, now you can just replace it with hello. And this is the other benefit of naming things in a consistent way. Is like you can just change a few things and know that you're doing the same thing, but for the hello case instead of the goodbye case.
Okay.
Okay, great. And that, since you did it so well, I feel like we should make you do something else because otherwise that's short. So there's one thing missing. Does anyone present, can you guess what else we have to change instead of just setting the text of TV? We have to change one other variable. We're going to insert a new line at the end of 37 and a new line at the end of 40, and we're going to change one more thing. Go ahead and press enter, Jonathan.
isHello maybe? isHello is true or false?
So you want to flip the value of isHello, right? I heard someone suggest it.
Yeah, so isHello is false on 42, and I guess you don't. And isHello true on 38.
Well, yeah, you want to.
But if it's true, then you want to.
Yeah, but if don't after you execute that code, don't you want it then to be false so that it executes?
Well, I guess only if you want it to switch to false after you click it, right?
Well, I think that's what he wants to do. Is like when you click on it, then the next time you click on it, it will flip the other way.
Is that the point to make it flip?
Yep, that's the point.
So then, yeah, I guess reverse. That would make it stay the same.
But it's going to be it's a private Boolean.
But it's still in the same class, so you should still have.
Oh, okay. And then I just put equals false.
That's right.
And then we want to flip it back true at the end of 41.
Yeah, but don't forget the semicolon at the end of line 38.
How come it doesn't automatically put the semicolon in for you?
That's a good question. It doesn't know that you're done.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, to you it's common sense, right? It does so many other smart things for you. It's kind of like, you live in the future and robots like lift food to your mouth and chew it for you, but sometimes the robots don't know that you're done chewing or eating, so you still have to do some things by yourself. Okay, great.
Return it, not it.
It doesn't read that.
So now we need to connect up this onClick handler to the onClick event in the layout. So Jonathan, go ahead and hand off to someone else, and thank you.
All right. Who's next? Yeah.
Okay.
Is this Kung again?
Yes.
Okay, great. So go to the activity gigglebyte.xml file.
XML files.
Yeah. It's called activity gigglebyte. There you go. You're close. Down.
Oh, okay.
Down.
Down.
Next one down. Stop. Too far. That one right there. Yeah, so that's the layout that goes with this activity. Go ahead and double click it to load in. And something I'm going to have you do, which I like doing, is to press Enter to make each of these attributes on its own line. So before every word Android that you see on line 8, press Enter to move it to its own line.
That's part of this. Sending the request to the web server.
Great. More. And then do the one on line 8 too. And then add one more. So go ahead and press Enter again. And go up to line 9 and type Android : on click. So ONCLICK. There you go. Accept the first suggestion. That's the one. Good. Then in quotes, type on click in the same case. So ON uppercase CLIC. Perfect. You're done. Save it. Click save.
Where do you file save it to S?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
First, when they start,
When's that?
identify themselves. And then, yeah, that send the list. And then someone logs in, and their username and stores that web server, and everyone accesses that list. And then everybody's app, when they tap one, just go to the web server and say, hey, go to that.
Okay, so then let's click Run and run it in the emulator. And Adrian can help you since I think he's using a special emulator.
Run?
Run app.
Run app?
I think it's from store.
Okay.
It might actually come up.
Yeah, that's what he's like.
Finding something. No resource found in matches given name. At the bottom, saying no resource found that matches the given name at text with the value string hello. Oh, so it's stopped there.
It doesn't know that resource. Maybe check the strings. Okay. See if they're in the top of bar. Strings.xml.
Yeah, you can do
string where?
Strings.xml. We've already outlined it, but yeah. It doesn't know. Oh, because it's called. So go back to that place where we just put the activity XML. It's not called hello world. Let me change it to hello strings.
Oh, okay.
That is the part that's just like.
Okay.
That should be right.
Yeah.
Now we should try running again.
Yeah, but is it on my
on the phone.
I guess
you're right. There's still 2 errors.
Yeah, you just have that list. Yeah, so I guess you. Yeah.
I didn't say what happened.
So you should, which one of these should we pick?
Probably Jenny Motion. That's the one that's on the computer.
Okay.
I think Jenny Motion is that like 2 red circles on the bottom bar.
Okay.
The very bottom of the computer.
This one?
Yeah. So just click on one of those. Sorry, I don't use this. I don't know. So now that the world is change.
Uh-oh. What is wrong?
It's kind of slow.
Oh, I think maybe in the layout, if the text is specified statically, then it can never change, possibly. That's what would be true for CSS and HTML. Can you change back to the XML file? Yeah, behind you, that one. The XML file. So the activity back over.
Activity, XML. Okay.
Activity gigabyte.xml. The one that's 2 tabs over. There you go. So try removing hello text on it. Oh wait, no, not that one. Remove the line that says string hello string.
Remove that line.
Yeah.
Delete it.
And then great. And then save it and compile again.
Yeah, I did Control S already. So run it again.
And then make sure that the program matches. Also, I think that play button will run it.
Where's the play button?
It's on the bar. Just might as well just run it. Run that.
These icons are so small. The word's gone.
Oh, so okay. So you need to set it initially in the constructor. Okay. So actually, that's plenty of typing for you, Kung Now. If you want, you can keep going, but you can also pass it on to someone else.
Okay.
There's only a little bit of typing left. It's mostly copy paste, copy pasta.
It's me again, Paul.
Hi, Audrey. Is that you?
Hi. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, we're gonna bring it home in this session. So click on gigabyte.java.
Gigabyte Java. What is that?
It's a tab, which is 2 tabs over from the
Is it there on the top?
This one here?
So when it makes the screen
Yep.
bigger, also
That's it.
All right. Thank you.
Exactly. And at the end of line 21, press Enter to insert a new blank line. And then scroll the screen down until you can see lines 35, I think. Keep going, 38 probably. Keep going. Okay, line 41 and 42. Copy both of those lines in their entirety. And copy, so Control C or Command C.
Yeah. Go back up there.
And then move all the way up to the blank line on line 22 and paste it there.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's right. And save and run.
Save and run. And run.
Run with that little play button at the top.
Oh yeah, this one. Oh, that green. Yeah.
And yeah, you can choose an emulator that's already running.
The Gen motion.
go second one.
Little like double circle on the far right.
Oh, far right, this window?
Oh, sorry, it wasn't working.
Oh, okay.
Was this already open?
Yeah, yeah.
Probably open.
Oh, yeah. What happened? Did this window come up?
Actually, no, I guess it should work if you click on Hello World. I don't know if it was nervous, but
Oh, yeah, try pressing it.
yeah, actually, clicking the pad.
Oh, I see.
Oh no, I thought for sure that was going to work. Maybe we need to set, I know it's slow, it's true to begin with, so fine. I think the, going all right with it.
No, I have. Sorry.
Try the Jenny motion.
I did, but
Thank you.
well, I can try it now. But then now I just have all these like bugs that thing. Also, my default way created a bunch of stuff on
When you did
like the on-create method is gigantic.
that was really weird. Yeah, I would see this weird generation stuff sometimes. I don't know. What's up? What do you have?
Trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
Oh, why it's not working? Did it?
Yeah, yes.
Did it install? Oh, maybe it's installed on my device.
Get out.
It may be the activity. Well, so let's,
Yeah.
I mean, we got Hello World to display. I want to be respectful of people's time, and I know that we're 15 minutes or 18 minutes over now, so if you have to go, we hope you had a great time, really enjoyed teaching you, and this is only the first workshop in an 8-session course, so if you're interested in the details of how to continue, email Adrian or contact us on Slack. So check your email, you'll receive an invite on Slack, that's how we're going to contact you afterwards. I'll send you a personal email to keep in touch. I know all of you. I feel like I know all of you pretty personally now because we've sat and typed together and shared awkward moments, and then hopefully also got the payoff of seeing things work. So if you have to leave, have a good night, and thank you so much for spending your Monday night with us. But if you can stay, we are totally going to get this to work and upload it to the Google Play Store. And Adrian, are you okay with staying for another 20 minutes?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. Cool. So, yeah. If you have to leave now, take a bathroom break, please take care of yourself first. Otherwise, we'll continue.
What was the last thing you said?
If you have to leave now, or drink some water or take a break, go for it. But for the rest of us, let's continue. I'm going to push on through. We're going to get this to work, and then we're going to upload it to the Play Store.
Can you show me screenshot X?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's nothing in the log menu. Can you screen share again, Adrian, so I can see what you're looking at too?
Or am I not screen shared?
Oh, wait. One thing that you can do, Adrian, is take a picture while everyone is there. It's something I always forget to do, but it's nice to have for posterity. Yeah, this is your Android class of 2015. This is everyone's first Android app together. Yeah. Thanks, Adrian. And then take a picture before everyone disperses.
Sure. We all be on our phone.
That's right. You'll all be on your Android phones.
Yeah,
Yeah, if people have to go, I mean, don't feel obligated to stay. But if people want to keep going, I'll stick around. And I guess that's what we're trying to get through is just getting the actual app like up on the Play Store, kind of going through the whole process.
But how do you, if we want to do this on our computer,
Yeah, like the tools to help you. Yeah. So yeah, hey Paul, yeah. So we had a question from Kung. He's just asking like, he wants to do this on his own. So he's just asking what's available to help him. And I think, is there like beyond the replaying? I know there's the video, replaying this video. Is there other resources that you've provided?
Yes, I will type up the notes. I'll send out a link to the video to everyone by email and Slack, and then I'll also type up the notes for this session, which is everything we've done so far, including starting with a blank activity, adding the on-click handler, adding the text view and the string. Yeah, all the way up to when we fix this problem, and then also how to sign the APK, how to join the developer console. So I'll invite all of you. When you get home, you'll see several emails. One of them is that you're added to the Google Play account for Invisible College, and that means when you make your own apps, you can upload them for free using our account for testing, for the length of this course, which is until December 18th. So you have several weeks to keep on playing with this, and we hope that you do. Does that make sense? Yeah, so we'll send you a document in addition to this video, and you'll be able to follow along and help refresh everything we learned tonight. So I know it's a lot of information. So one thing we can do is set a breakpoint and actually show people how to use a debugger, because I'm not even sure the on-click handler is getting called.
Yeah, I don't think we ever set the on-click listener.
No, it should be set in the XML file, but it's possible that.
Oh, I see. Here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's possible that app compat activities handle it correctly, but normal activities do not know about on-click handlers. The weird thing is why it wouldn't accept app compat activity to begin with.
That is strange.
Yeah. And you're probably using a fairly recent version of Android Studio, right? Like 1.4?
Oh, yeah.
That is weird. Can you change it back to app compat activity?
Yeah, let's see. Maybe it's just, that's weird, yeah. Sometimes build clean will fix this stuff. But
oh yeah, we forgot about good old build clean.
I am getting the file by ID method for that.
You are, okay. Let me look at one thing on your computer.
Yeah, maybe if you command click onto app compat activity, you can drill down deeper to see whether those methods are actually declared inside of it. And in time, I will break one of the rules of mob programming by Googling on my own computer. But I'm allowed to because
that's weird.
You get to that.
Yeah, if you hold like. Yeah, are you using API 15? Yeah, that's a good thought.
Yeah, I mean, I have to take that.
You did, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's really weird. Is there a reason you're not using just normal activity?
I always use app compat activity.
Oh, okay. Just for do you have a just because, or do you have is there a specific reason?
Because Android Studio auto generates it for me.
Oh, okay.
But also because apparently it supports on-click handlers and activities don't.
Command. Yeah, that'll like drill you down into. You can do that like on methods, right? Yeah. Features in there. Find view by. Activity extend something else.
And fragment activity.
Yeah.
One's app combat.
Yeah.
So here's not. Seems like this is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. This is just weird.
Yeah, combined activity should descend from activity.
Fragment activity.
We can always just change it to do the on-click listener in the actual code too.
Yeah, if you know a way of setting the on-click listener programmatically, let's do that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So yeah, we can do that. So yeah, I guess the issues here is just that with normal activity, you just can't set these on clicks in the XML. You have to set them programmatically. So the way we can do that is we already have our like text view variable here, so we can actually if you go text view dot could I be say add set on click listener. Set on click listener.
I have guessing you should maybe importing the toolbar widget because that seems to have been preloaded in the
For how would I do that?
That's the only thing that's different between the toolbar, the widget, widget toolbar 47.
Oh, this. Oh, getting rid of that.
No, it's different. It's the same thing. Support that having that widget.toolbar.
Oh, okay.
What I have in that creates a thing in the constructor that seems to be toolbar, find view by ID. But no, it's the same thing. Sorry, never mind.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that would help. So should I? Yeah. I guess I gotta let someone. This they want to. But yeah, since we've already created the, we can call it. Yeah, I think we can go a different way here.
So what API version are you using out of curiosity?
15.
Oh, maybe that's the problem.
Oh, you think? Oh, okay, that is probably the problem. Okay, we can change. You think you want to go that route? I can, yeah.
I mean, we can try this as a last resort, but yeah, I've been pretty much using 23.
Okay. Oh wait, no, we're using 23 as well. We're just the minimum SDK is 15 actually, but I think we're on 23 for the target. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not the problem. Yeah, so you could do it. Yeah, can you see the screen, Paul?
Yeah, hold on. What about it? Oh, I see. Yeah. That.
So we can
that before.
see it that way. Then basically what we can do is we can just move this code into there.
Yeah. Yeah, there are various ways of doing it. They should be equivalent, but you could say.
We shouldn't take
Ask for Gradle to have finished already.
You have to wait so long.
Is it really that long?
Not always that long, but it's
probably running a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It just kind of like depends. Sometimes it's really quick. Sometimes it takes a long time. Does it go really quick for you?
Yeah, but it's still like turning on.
Okay, now it's finished. Okay, now it's finished finally. Okay, it works now.
All right, so hopefully that gave all of you psychic enjoyment, as it certainly did for me. By psychic enjoyment, I just mean, like in your mind, you generate jolts of pleasure whenever something works. And most of programming is like setting up your expectations so that the tiniest little thing, like a letter appearing on a view, is like enough to give you like ecstasy of like, you can do this. It's amazing.
Yep, endorphins going.
Okay, let's sign this thing. Let's pop it up on the Play Store. People are waiting.
How do you want to do this?
We can't disappoint our public, so yeah. Let's.
You want me to just kind of go through it?
Yeah, let's just do it right now. So go to build and sign.
Yep. So basically, yeah, it's all Android Studio. So we can go build, generate signed APK. So yeah. Basically, you can right when you run this and compile it, it will generate an APK. But in order to be in the Play Store, you have to sign it, which is like kind of maybe you could explain this better, Paul. But basically, it is kind of some unique identifier that associates it with you, is kind of embedded into it. So I think it's to be sort of tracked to you in case you are doing something malicious or something, I think. But yeah, you can't upload an APK to the Play Store unless it's signed. So the process for signing it is a little more than just compiling it. It takes a few more steps. Okay, so then we can go next. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just go through the whole thing of create a new key store and such, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the first time it takes longer. The next time when you create create new versions or update your API, you don't have to go through all this. But you go create new. You basically just kind of enter all of your it kind of embeds all this information into there. So you just choose somewhere you want to put it.
The info.
What's that?
You mean the info you're putting somewhere?
So what's this going to actually do is this is going to generate a file, like a key store file, and that has all this information, I think, encrypted inside of it.
You put that somewhere in the app.
Well, this is all. I think only this key store is only used to generate the signed APK. All of that becomes bundled into the APK. But this is saving it so that the next time you don't have to type all this in again.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's on your computer. Right?
Yeah, it's saving it on your computer. Yeah, exactly. So I'll just put it. I'll just put it in documents for now, and then you can name it whatever you want. Robot. Perfect. I could choose a password. I'll just say robot. Yeah.
Why do you need a password?
I think it's because it's encrypted. I think in the in order to get inside of this, you need to like enter the correct password. I think, is that right, Paul?
Yeah. So if someone physically steals your computer, they still have to enter this one last password to be able to sign apps as you.
Oh.
And yeah, so you might be able to get away with an empty password if you're like not that afraid of your computer getting stolen. But
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a password just for the put in my name. Hope you guys didn't program some viruses into this to get me in trouble later.
So this thing goes up directly to the Google Play Store and available for what?
That's what we're going to show you how to do, yeah.
Immediately?
It takes like maybe 4 hours or so.
They don't
to
go through
propagate.
some vetting process or anything like that.
I think they have like more of an automated process. Yeah, they're a lot less strict than Apple. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they basically, like, I think what happens is they just don't percolate up in the search results if they're like no one downloads them or anything. Yeah. But yeah, you could like rate your own. Yeah. Well, that's why they make you pay $25, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we're kind of, that's why, you know, who knows what they're going to do to us if we kind of pollute their system with crappy apps. But there's oh, dang it. Okay, robot. I need a robot one.
So, you know how some folks put it free and some charge. Does Google take a cut of it?
Yeah, I think they're gonna. Yeah, every time that someone buys your app, that Google's gonna take a cut. Yeah, some small cut, I think. Yeah, if you charge for the app. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also arrange for the whole payment system and everything, so that's nice. Yeah. Okay. So you can have it automatically remember your passwords if you want. Next. And then you can also have this like master password so that it'll keep all of those passwords under a single password that you can set for this whole like Android Studio setup. This is my master password because I've already.
Yeah, I think you have to use the same one that you've already created for, and maybe an Apple thing too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's good thing passwords are blanked out in video chat.
Yeah. Oh, they are automatically?
Well, no, I mean, like, if someone is like looking over your shoulder, that's why passwords appear blurred out. But it's especially important in video chat because you could at any point go back and pause the video on a frame, and you know there's someone's password.
Yeah. Well, this is going to show my password. My master. Actually, here, let's see. I think I can just copy it, maybe.
Yeah, that's much better.
Hopefully. Yes, that worked. Okay. I thought I might have put it. Well, it's not like it was just in plain text, but it would have been. Yeah, I would have had to do that potentially. Okay, so then, yeah, you want to make sure it's release is the build type, and then finish. Is it done?
So why do you have different passwords for different apps? Is that
It's for a different signature, I think.
okay?
Yeah, so
Why would you sign something?
usually you're going to sign all your apps with your same signature, I think. Yeah. Okay, so it finished, and I can, if you press reveal in Finder, now it actually just created that release APK right there. I like to like rename it so I know what it is. So maybe I'll call this robot hello release. So now we have the file. What's that?
You don't have to go through the zip align step. It just automatically zip aligns it for you.
What is zip align?
No, I guess you've never had to do it. For some reason, yeah, my process is slightly different. I had to manually zip align it. That compresses, and then I think byte aligns or aligns it to the word size. And it was necessary because the APK it generated would say unaligned, and then the Play Store wouldn't accept it. But it looks like you're fine.
Yeah, I wonder what that one had to do with.
There are all these like weird edge cases.
Yeah. So
I
okay.
My account, Adrian. So you can use that.
What's that?
I've already added you to my account or the Invisible College account.
There we go.
Great.
And you guys will all be on. Everybody here will also be on there too, right?
Yeah, I am going to add them right now.
Cool.
Oh wow, someone already added Robot Heart.
Yep.
That must have been Deepak.
Nice. So yeah, you guys will basically get. If you guys don't have a developer account, I think you'll be prompted in that email, I assume, to sign up for one, and then you've been added to this Invisible College account. So then since you're already in here as a member of this Invisible College team, you'll just be able to add a new application. You can call it whatever. We want to add a whole new application, right? That's the idea you had, right? Or did you want to do it a different way?
Sorry, say that again, Adrian.
Did you intend for everyone to upload a whole new application?
Yeah. You probably want to add your name to it. So you can call yours like Adrian's Robot Hello.
Robot Hello, Adrian. Okay,
yeah.
So then now we can say, so yeah, that's literally would be the title on the Play Store. Say upload APK. One cool thing that you can do is, you can go right to production and just, put it right in the Google Play Store publicly, or like, you can also do like beta testing, which would kind of make it so it's public, but it's not like searchable and findable in the Play Store. It's just you have to give people that you want to allow to beta test the app a specific URL, and they can download it from there. But they could go to that URL on their device, and it would look just like a normal app on the Play Store. So that's really useful. And then, so you can do like beta, talk to your users and see how everything's working. And then if everything looks good, or maybe you had some bugs you want to fix, you can upload a new APK and then promote it to production once you're comfortable with it. And then they would go onto the public Play Store. Because this is a good idea, especially with Android, because there's so many different devices out there. Just like the more people can test it on different devices, the better, because there's almost always like going to be some weird thing that comes up on like some device and doesn't come up on others. So it's good to like get a variety of devices to test it first.
So how is that different from alpha?
So alpha would be, it's really just another term. Alpha is like basically beta is like, this is like one step below production, which is like production's like the prime time, and alpha is like a step below beta, so it's like even rougher. Like alpha is kind of like, this may be super buggy, may not work at all. Like that's kind of, it's just like a terminology thing. Yeah, most people never heard the term alpha because it's not as publicized. But yeah, sometimes alpha would be like, when you see like beta on web pages and stuff, alpha is probably like, as a normal user, you would never see alpha because it's like so rough. They don't even want to release it. But yeah, it doesn't really, it functions the same way.
Right?
Yeah.
So you get the URL to the alpha tester.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then it works, promote it to beta, and then
promote
it to.
Yeah, exactly. Most people, I don't think, go through the whole 3 steps. They let you if you want. So yeah, pretty simple. You just find your file, just press upload APK, and then, where did I put that? Documents, there it is. Robot, all right, no, that's not it. I went, it's in, where is my, somewhere over here. Oh yeah, okay, put it over here, robots. Didn't we call it something else? Where did I put that? Oh, it is under robot. Hello. Okay. There it is. And then go to build, or no. Build. There's I forget at least. Sorry. Oh, it's the first app. Oh yeah, it's right here. So yeah, it automatically puts it under app. So there it is.
Nice. Let me see if I can find it.
It's right here. What's that?
I'm going to see if I can find it in the Play Store.
Well, we haven't actually published it in the whole Play Store. I don't know if you're aware of this, but in order to put it in the Play Store, you have to like, it's kind of a process of like all these fields you have to fill out. Like it requires a high resolution icon and feature graphic that has to be a certain size. And then you have to go through the content rating survey. Pretty much like pretty much just filling out a bunch of forms. But once you finally fill out all those forms, then it'll let you publish the app, and then it will take 4 or 5 hours, and then it will come up. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. Okay. But after you do all of that, it will come up. And although I guess there is that sort of review process, it is possible that it will be rejected for whatever reasons. I think it would be an automated rejection probably. Maybe it automatically detects like an app that only has like a tiny bit of functionality. I don't know, but it'd be kind of interesting to see if we could actually get it on here, get it on the Play Store. Oh, did you search it? You searched it? Nice.
Wait, it already showed up?
No. He was just, Drew was just searching like just to see like if anybody made a Hello World app on a Play Store, and he found lots of them.
Yeah. No, it's a useful learning experience. Yeah,
definitely.
You don't have to follow all the way through, Adrian. I think we can call it a night and end on a high note. But I will definitely follow through and like submit it later, and then I'll send out a link to everyone by email so they can see that the app that they've been working on all night actually did or did not. Like, no matter what happens, we'll learn a lot more about Google standards for production apps.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah, does anyone have any last minute questions or comments, feedback?
Thank you, Paul. Very interesting.
Oh no, thank you guys for everything. And thanks to Adrian. Be sure to give him a round of applause. So we have another session. As I mentioned, this is only the first of 8 more sessions. The next one is on Wednesday. If you're interested in attending, it will still be here at Metrics, and I'll send you an email. So thanks again, everyone, and have a good night.
Yeah, this Wednesday, yeah. Cool. Cool, all right, take care, Paul.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. We can we can chat about how things went. Bye, everyone. It was good hearing from you, if not seeing you.